talking me.
Welcome to another episode of the We Love Gaming podcast. This is episode 67. My name is Marcus, aka Godly Sovereign. Today is another lovely evening in Southern California, IA. It's pretty hot. One thing we have not been able to avoid as of yet, but I'm hoping for that autumn weather really soon. Just to let you guys know, the Patreon link is down below if you would like to get some merch there, or if you would like to contribute to the channel. We would greatly appreciate it. If this is your first time coming to the channel, then welcome. You know, we appreciate you guys for clicking on the video. And if you would like to do so, go ahead and click the subscribe button and the like button. That would help us out greatly. If you've been here several times again, you know, we really appreciate you guys for coming back. All of the comments that you guys leave in the video. Shout out to all the new subscribers. Scotty, there's a couple of other ones. I'm sorry, I don't have like all of the names listed right here. But we appreciate all of you guys. Shouts out to Blue. We really appreciate you pushing the word. You've been helping us out a lot. Joels, appreciate you guys. But yeah, you know, so we are here to talk about games. And I say we because I am not alone. Of course, I have to have the 1003 Game Slayer, Ray, aka Sir Knight. What's good, my man?
It's going good, man. Doing real well, you know, getting ready. I'm telling you, man, we're 1 week away. My wife could pop at any moment, dude. Little baby Beasley's on her way, dude.
Yeah,
so,
coming quick, man.
Yeah, you know, I'm hoping she's on time. I pray she's on time because that lines up perfect with work.
Right, Thursday, right?
Thursday,
yeah.
I hope she's on time, man, because that would line up just perfect with everything. But
that would be an exciting moment.
Nothing. I read that they don't come on time. They almost come.
Sometimes they come when they want to come.
There's only like a 6% chance they come on their due date.
Yeah.
So
they come when they want to come, man. They might come the day before. You might pop out Wednesday,
they come
man.
when they want to come,
you know,
man.
or Friday. Could be, you know, next Tuesday.
Totally,
depending
dude.
on, but
totally.
Yeah, for sure.
But otherwise, it's been a good week, man. You know, I got, you know, finally some new games are coming out.
Yeah,
which man. Can report on, and
I'm trying to get myself ready.
I know, right? Trying to plan out the funds. Okay, I'll get this one, that one, like that. It's like, what can I do, right? Yeah, man, I hear you. But yeah, other than that, man, what you been up to?
Just you know, doing some more work in my room, straightening some things out. Was putting some stuff in my closet, and then my wife suggested, hey, your closet looks like shit, you should probably paint it. So I was like, all right. So I pulled things out of my closet and then, you know, did a repaint and everything like that. So I started putting some things back in there, some that will stay there and others that are just there for a short period of time.
Right.
But yeah, I got like this, my wife had this great idea of a design on the wall. I'm not going to say it here because
spoil it, man.
I'll put it out there when we do the video of our man caves or whatever. Yeah. But she's got the idea of something to put on the wall. So we're going to start doing that pretty soon. You know what I mean? So I got the panels around the chest. Still got to work on the hinge because I want to upholster the top so we can sit on it and whatnot, and then, you know, do that up. So I still got to do that. Just taking my time on that because it's like it's built. You know what I mean? It's over there on the side. I still got stuff inside of it, so I'm utilizing it. But you know, I just got to beautify it. You know, a little bit afterwards. But
yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing it, man.
Yeah,
and when it's all finished.
I was just kind of coming across this like little space, right, where, you know, you made a comment last week that all I do is play Let It Die and
Black Desert
else.
Online, BDO,
whatever. You know, shout out to the lightly working crew. I didn't get a chance to do much, but I did play some things, and so I was trying to figure out what I was gonna do. But you know, enough of that. Why don't you tell me what you've been playing this week?
Yeah, man. So finally some new games. So I got F.I.S.T.
Okay, so you bought
Forza
F.I.S.T.
Shadow
Nice.
Torch. Yeah,
when did that come out? Because that passed right under my radar.
That came out, I believe it was Tuesday.
Tuesday? Okay.
Yeah. So
what was the price? Like $30?
It was $30, but I got like a 10% discount
for PS Plus.
For PS Plus.
Okay.
Yeah. All so not a bad price.
Yeah.
It's dope.
Okay.
It's real dope.
I mean, it looked good.
Really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I knew it looked good, but like I don't know. There's like, it's on the verge of being really good. It's a little wonky a little bit, but it's like they're so close to that like high-end polish.
Okay.
Like there's just some catawampus things about it that you can kind of feel a little bit. The polish isn't quite there, but it's so close that I'm like pretty impressed. I was like, goodness, man, like these Chinese developers. There's another Chinese game that I got too on Steam, that Cultivation one. Okay. I was telling you about that a while ago.
I think you mentioned something about it. What was the name of it, though? Do you remember?
I don't. It's all written in Chinese. I don't know. Okay. But the reason why I ended up getting that one, because I said last time it was on a Steam sale.
Yeah.
It came back on a sale on Steam with the English update. So I didn't want to play it because it was all in Chinese. The whole game was in Chinese.
Yeah.
And so I was like, well, there's no way I'm buying this on the Steam sale because I don't want to play it. I need the English update. Well, they released the English update like 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
Or I don't know exactly when, but pretty recently.
Yeah.
And so I looked and it was on sale for a pretty hefty deal. So I snagged that. And it's really cool. I was playing that too. It's a really cool little PC game.
Another one to your Steam
another one on my Steam account. I don't really know like necessarily how to play it yet. But it's got all the cultivation novel tropes, man, that we love.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
all that stuff.
That's dope. How much did you end up paying for it?
$14, like pretty low. 12, 13 bucks.
I could probably find it for a good deal then by the time the Steam Deck comes out and I can actually purchase one.
Yeah, because the Steam Deck sale coming out like in the winter or around this
fall, holiday or something.
You'll find a really good deal on it.
Yeah.
And it's got the English version out now, so like it's ready to go.
Right.
So if you're like a cultivation fan at all, then you gotta check it out. It's pretty cool. You see your strength getting stronger. They show you the levels. Mm-hmm. Like you're at Foundation 1. You're like, it's really cool. Man.
Yeah.
It's
That's dope.
So like it's really neat in that regard. I wish I could remember the name so I can tell you guys what it was called.
Yeah, but, just in case you guys are wondering like what cultivation is.
So cultivation is a Chinese fantasy kind of like mythic
technique or something like that.
It's very popular in China. The stories they tell in China that are like fantasy almost always revolve around something called cultivation. And that's where the individual is like able to absorb like energy from the ambient environment.
Right? Yeah.
And they have different techniques for absorbing that energy. And so they might go to different locations. Maybe they might go to a location that's cold to absorb like cold energy, or to a location that's warm to absorb warm energy. And they take these energies and they compress it like in their core, right? And they slowly make their core stronger, right? And they break through to different levels of strength, right?
So the reason why we like these is because there's like a lot of books that happen to be based upon this cultivation, like theory or like
concept
concept
type of fantasy.
Yeah, and so we really love like a lot of those books. One of those is Cradle.
Cradle's like the dopest.
There's actually another book that's coming out, I think, in November on the 2nd.
Beginning After the End is kind of like that too.
Yeah, Beginning After the End.
Yeah, he levels up your
like
core
that.
with the yellow core, orange core, right? Yeah.
Right. So yeah, they got a new edition. It's like book 10, and it's called Reaper.
That
one comes out November 2nd.
That's our favorite book probably ever.
Yeah.
I think both of us probably agree with that. It's probably our favorite series we've ever read, and we've read a lot of freaking books.
Yeah, this guy's read a lot. But
you've read a lot too, but I've read a ridiculous amount.
Yeah.
But what's different about it is just the fact that in all fantasies that we all know about, like even like Marvel, they have people with power, which we all like that, but it's all arbitrary on like how strong they are compared to this guy, compared to that guy, and
it's not measured. Really.
It's not measured, and it's not laid out. So you're kind of like, well, how strong is Thor?
Yeah, you kind of measure it.
Hulk? I don't know.
You measure it against another person.
Yeah, you kind of see them fight, and you can see who's stronger.
Yeah.
But in a cultivation fantasy, or I guess we would call it a progression fantasy, there's a very distinct, laid out progression level.
Right.
So everyone is in a certain level, and you know how strong they are. And so when you see somebody in a certain level, and you go, gosh, that guy's strong. What level is he? And you're like, oh, snap, that's an archlord. You're like, damn, that's stronger than a gold.
Yeah.
Right? And you get a really good, strong idea in your mind of like where things are at, where the character you're following stands compared to the rest of the world. And his levels of strength that he gets are much more important and profound because you know just how much closer he's getting to the top.
Right.
So that's why I like it.
Yeah.
And this game is like exactly that.
Okay.
You have all the progression levels.
Yeah,
That's why I was saying they have like a name for it too.
That's dope.
You know, like in Cradle, they have a name for it all.
Yeah.
This game has that.
Okay.
So it hits all those markers, man.
Now, is it set for like controller? Like, can you use controller on it, or you have to use a mouse and keyboard?
Nope.
Okay. That's unfortunate.
I'm gonna see if I can find the name really quick.
Probably a lot of abilities, huh?
Actually, there wasn't too many abilities. It was I think this is Tale of Immortal.
Tale of Immortal.
Tale of Immortal. So jot this one down. It's called Tale of Immortal, and this is on Steam. And there isn't a whole lot of abilities. There isn't. Like right now, I only had like 2 abilities. My click and my right click. That was it. And it's kind of like a twin stick shooter.
Okay.
Because like you're just aiming your mouse.
Yeah.
You can whip it around and go in different directions.
Right.
I don't know if you're watching the trailer right now on Steam.
I'm looking at a video on YouTube.
But like it's really, really cool, man. You get really strong, really powerful, really quick.
You started playing that one already?
I played that one a little bit. Just a little bit. Just because I downloaded it, I wanted to play it a little bit. But not very long because I got into F.I.S.T.
Yeah.
And F.I.S.T is really good. And the reason why I even brought this game up is because it's also by a Chinese developer. And these Chinese developers, man, like they're really making some really good games.
Putting in
like,
work.
Really good games.
This joint looks like Airbender a little bit.
Well, yeah, some of the artwork, right?
Yeah, Avatar, yeah. The art,
but it's all cultivation, man. It's all cultivation level. And it's got like a really high, very positive score on Steam. So like it was really popular.
Yeah.
I think it was one of like the top 5 most popular games on Steam. And the other, like first most popular was also a Chinese game, which I mentioned before. And I think Brahms or Arachnin or somebody was like, yeah, that is a really good game. I think it was Dyson Project or something. Dyson Sphere. Was that Brahms?
Yeah, Brahms likes
was explaining that one.
Yeah.
And that's the Chinese developer too.
Okay.
So like these Chinese developers like pumping out games. Like that one, man. Wukong, that's South Korea or is that China? That might be South Korean. No, that's China.
Is that?
Because I mean that's the Monkey King. That's Chinese. That's a Chinese mythology fantasy lore. The Monkey King. I think Wukong is China too. I think Wukong is a Chinese developer.
Yeah, I'll have to see. But yeah,
so anyways, like I was just like, man, these guys are really pumping out some quality stuff. F.I.S.T is dope, dude. I didn't realize, you know, when we saw the trailer and we saw this rabbit and he has this big robot fist
arm, yeah.
And I think I commented or one of us commented of like, man, that seems weird. Like all he has is just an arm. Like that's kind of weird, you know. Like that's a weird path to go.
Yeah. For
like a character's strength, but dude, they explain it in the game.
Okay.
And so like basically you're like a mech warrior. You know a mech warrior where you have a big giant robot.
Right.
That's what the rabbit was like in his past life. And they were like conquered by another nation. So they took away all the weaponry from the furtisans because they're all furry.
Yeah.
All the furtisans, they call them furtisans in the town. So he's lost his job, you know, he's an old soldier, doesn't have any hope to living. And they want to have an uprising. And one of his buddies, like a bear, is like, I've been working on that fist, you know. And then another dope thing that I need to mention is the main character's name, Ray. What up?
You loser.
That's extra points, dude. The main character.
He's like, oh, I gotta
play this now, man.
Yeah, that's
so
funny.
like his name is Ray.
Yeah.
And the bear's telling Ray, like, I've been working on that fist, you know. And essentially what it is it's literally just the only piece that they could scrap from his mech machine is the arm. And the bear is like a mechanic, and he's been trying to get it powered again. They don't have like a lot of materials, you know, because they've been stripped by this nation that conquered them.
Right.
The Iron Dogs, I think they're called. And he's like, oh, skeptical. But then his buddy gets abducted. This all happens right at the beginning.
Yeah.
His buddy gets abducted, and so he's left with no choice but to go to the bear's garage, and he sees the fist there, and he puts that on. And so that's why it's only a fist, because that's all they can scrounge up. That's all they could scrounge up was just the arm of the mech.
Yeah.
And he does all this dope stuff with just a freaking arm only.
So is he a mechanic enough to be able to upgrade his shit, or
you upgrade it? So like so it's really cool, man. You get you have a complete upgrade tree.
Yeah.
It's got all the trappings of a Metroidvania. Okay. So you get double jump. You have to get certain power ups to go to new zones, just like all the Metroidvanias do.
Cool.
The combat feels really fun.
Yeah.
Like at first it was a little wonky. I was trying to understand it, but once I got it, it's like really fun. The boss fights feel just good enough, and I was really enjoying it. I got to a point in the game where I was having the hardest time passing it, and I had to take a break because it's like this section of the game where you're platforming, and it's really long though. It's like a really long, difficult jumping, platforming with lasers shooting at you, so you have to be precise.
Yeah.
And if you don't go through the whole thing, you restart the whole obstacle course.
Oh, that's rough.
It's super rough. And I was like, dude, why is it putting me so far back? I got really far this try. And I died a few times, man. I'm on that fourth die. I was like, I got to take a break, dude. So I put it down and I paused. I think that was yesterday or something like that.
Okay, so this game is on Xbox too.
Yeah, it is on Xbox.
I wonder if it'll eventually find its way to Game Pass.
I wouldn't be surprised. Maybe I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah. But it's got great artwork. It's got great music. The voice acting's really cool. It's not the greatest writing, but the people they picked to voice the characters is really good.
That's what's up.
When you open up your map, it's like a Pip-Boy, like Fallout.
Oh, okay.
So it's like you're looking at, and it comes up the same as that thing. It looks the same way.
Look at your arm and it
pops
pops
it's
up,
all mechanical, and there's a screen, and it's you can see the frame rate or whatever.
Right.
And you're moving through, click, 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 just like the Pip-Boy sounds.
Yeah.
It's there's some aspects about it that have a lot of character.
Okay.
You know how Fallout has a lot of character?
Right.
This kind of has that too.
Gotcha.
And you can attach a different fist.
Okay.
So you can find different fists
along
the route. So it's not just the fist.
But you can only find one for one side. You can't have two different fists on.
No, you have to swap between the different fists.
Okay.
So you can only have one fist on at a time.
All right.
But they're all fun to use. All of them are really fun to use. So this is a really good Metroidvania.
Okay.
It's not like Hollow Knight. It's not a masterpiece. It's not like Ori, but it's definitely really good. It makes me think what it was making me think of was how Metroid Prime is coming out, I think, next month. Was I don't know if Metroid Prime can be really a whole lot more enjoyable than this game. They seem very similar because it's robotic, steampunk, kind of futuristic kind of thing.
Yeah.
And my mind was thinking to myself, I don't really know if Nintendo's going to be able to do a whole lot better job than what these guys have done with this game, Fist, Forge, and Torch, because this is really solid. It's really, really solid, man. It's really enjoyable.
Is it Metroid Dread?
Is it Dread? Okay,
yeah,
I thought it was
Dread.
Prime. Yeah, so Metroid Dread is what's coming out.
Yeah.
And when I saw, we've only seen one trailer for that game, Metroid Dread.
Yeah.
And when I saw it, I was thinking about it when I was playing this game, because this game looked like it might even be prettier than Dread.
Yeah.
And might even be smoother in a lot of ways. If you watch that Metroid Dread trailer, I think Fist might have it beat in the Metroidvania vein.
Interesting.
But that's pretty much what I dumped the vast majority of my gaming hours into this week. Okay. I enjoyed every minute I played it. So every moment I was playing it, I was enjoying it. So
that's what's
I can't really say much more good things about it.
Yeah, for sure.
Than that. But what about you, man? What you been up to?
Yeah, so because I was busy, with work and messing around with my game room and stuff like that, I didn't get a chance to play too much. Of course, I dabbled a slight bit in Let It Die. I got to enjoy a lot more of Craftopia, the new one that I told you I was playing.
Dude, that game, I tried that.
You tried it?
That game is junk.
You said it's junk?
That game is junk.
Why do you call it junk?
It seems like a quarterly built mess.
Well, it's extra alpha.
Yeah, dude, it's junk.
Why is it junk? Why do you feel it's junk?
That was the lamest. It's like N64 graphics in the dungeons. The boss fight was dumb. He just did one move. He would spin around. It was just really corny and cheesy. The combat's really corny and cheesy. The enemy types, they look really, really old. The enemy types,
the enemy types look
graphics.
To me, like Breath of the Wild or whatever.
The dungeon enemies.
Yeah.
The enemies in the dungeons.
Oh, the dungeon enemies look way worse. Yeah.
Yes, that's what I mean.
Right, but the goblins look just like Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, the ones on the outside. Yeah, I know what you mean. Even the face.
Yeah, the ones in the dungeon. Yeah, I'd say the dungeons are pretty shitty looking.
Yes, that's what I mean.
They're going back to retro bit.
It seems really, really shitty in the dungeons. So I think that's what really rubbed me the wrong way. When I first entered the world, I was like, okay, it's kind of pretty. It's vibrant colors, blue skies. It's okay. But I was really looking forward to the dungeons because that's what you mentioned last time we told me. So I was like, I'm hoping I might like that aspect of it.
The dungeons are simple.
Shitty,
they're very simple,
and like they're very simple, man. Like they're just placeholders or something. Like they just haven't done anything yet.
Yeah.
The collecting was a little tedious. Like the trees, you had to really kind of whack at them for a while, and like one wood would come out. It's like, come on, give me more than one wood.
But you were whacking at it with your hands.
No, I was using a sword. Still takes the same amount of wax.
Yeah,
I wasn't using an axe. I was using
a
sword.
The sword tells you it's inadequate to do this job, but it will do it.
Yes, it will do it, and that's the most
convenient. You have to use the axe, and I think like you with the axe, you can get like 2 logs per swing, but you swing it a lot quicker. You taking the trees out faster.
It's nice to have the sword because I can do everything with it. If something comes running up on me, I can kill it. You know, I can just always use it, and so it's just. I think there might be potential here, but it looks like the skills were really lame too. It felt like this was like made by a couple like middle school boys, and this was like their dream, dude, to make their own game, and this is like all they've ever wished for. And like they had their own skills, you know, double jump, wow, you know, like all these things were like super generic, super simple, very simple. That's what I'll say. A very simplistic, simple game. It's I don't know, man.
Well, Pocket Pair is a Japanese company. It's a video game developer.
That's who made this game, Craftopia?
Yeah, Pocket Pair Inc. I do not know how big Pocket Pair is.
How many people they have?
Yeah, I don't know, but I believe that it's a small group, but I could be wrong.
Right.
You know, I don't really know. And yeah, I feel like there's things about it that could be a lot better. I do feel that there's glitches and things like that, but nothing that's like game ending. And I find it a little bit easier to deal with it because the thing says like pre-alpha or whatever, like pre-alpha game access or something like that. So it's like, you know, they're giving you like the bare bones essentially.
Yeah, that's what it is.
You know, but I like play it. I like the idea of it, you know, the fact that
I can agree with you on that.
You know, like when you know you have the ages and you advance in the ages, you know, you essentially destroyed the world, so you're there to rebuild the world by yourself or whatever. And they don't explain to people and why they're there to give you tips and things like that, but it is what it is.
I think it's just alpha.
And you it's kind of like, in a sense, it's almost like Minecraft. Because you can literally do what you want there. Like, you can just figure out to do something. Like, there's like, on the first island you get to, there's your first island, there's a floating island above head that you like, oh, how do I reach there? If you hack enough wood down.
I know, it takes forever,
you can build
ramps,
and you can ramp your way all the way up to the top to get up there. And then when you get up there, those slabs that you get for completing the dungeons,
give you health.
You can turn them in up there, and you can turn 2 of them in to get either health, stamina increase, or mana increase, or whatever. It'll like permanently increase your stats. So there's like an Anubis god up there that will give you those things in trade for the tablets. So I mean, I feel like it's like one of those little things that's like its own little niche. Like it's like a little, you know, survivalist type of thing. But you know, I've gotten to the point where I can you know, have like my island just keeps getting filled with like animals, like cows and sheep and different things like that. And then you advance your ages up enough, and you can have things automated to make things for you or whatnot. You can put like cows to like mate and create like multiple cows, like, and it's funny because like you have like little contraptions like a small generator that you can take your Pokeballs, like, because you have these things that are called monster balls that you can throw, and you'll catch any creature, as long as you weaken it enough to be able to catch it.
That's what I'm trying to say, man. I feel like it's a couple middle schoolers made their dream game,
a lot of different
and they put all these things inside. Like, what if we, like, you know, a couple, like when we were in middle school, you have like this dream of making this game and it has all your favorite things in it.
Yeah,
that's what this game felt like.
Right. So now,
but they're all bad versions
your
of
Pokemon
it,
die
so
in this,
alpha.
and you can eat your Pokemon in this thing. So it's everything we dreamt about. But you can like take these cows or whatever, and you can throw them into the small generator, and there's like a conveyor belt wheel. So so the wheel is there, and the cows will run on the wheel and spark the generator, and then it'll charge batteries for you, and you get a couple of batteries. But what's funny is that the cow runs until it dies. So the reason why it stops is because the cow's killed. So you'll just come back to your generator, and there'll be like a piece of meat and like some hooves or something sitting there, or some meat and some milk sitting there at the generator. You're like, oh damn, I guess that cow's done. You know what I mean? Because you just ran himself to death.
You just running cows to death. Continually running cows to death.
Yeah, and then it's funny because
brutal, dude.
It's funny because like pretty much these animals, they just run around doing whatever. It's not a great AI. So
yeah,
like,
I know. Everything about it's quarterly done.
Yeah, I sat a campfire down on the ground, and these cows were just running through the fire, and then they were burning up and then dying. So it would be like right around the fire, there'd be mad meat like around there because they just ran into the fire and died.
There's just meat all over the fire. That's so funny.
You just run and collect it, and then just keep on moving.
Funny, dude.
And then like there's like the little contraption that you have where you can create more animals. Like so, if you have like right now, sheep aren't abundant on my island, so you could throw 2 sheep up there, and then they'll just mate. And it's weird because it's like two little buttons that they stand on, and once you put them both on there, they lock in. Because you have to capture them with your Pokeball, and then you throw them up there, and then they pop out, and then they pop on the contraption, and they just spin, and they keep meeting each other. And I guess that's how they're producing. Because a little slot opens up, and one comes out the bottom. So they produce about like 5 or 6 of them, and then they eventually die. And you have meat up there, and you just run up there, collect the meat, and you just rinse and repeat or whatever. But it's just like a stupid little game that's like a little survivor thing or whatever. But it's kind of fun just running around and seeing like, oh, can I, increase my pickaxe to be able to get this material, get my axe better so I can hack this stuff down quicker, whatever, it's just like a little time waste.
Yeah, like the ideas they have in the game are good ideas because they're tried and true ideas.
Right, but they just have to perfect them.
They're all implemented so poorly right now that I couldn't get into it.
Right, and I don't even know how magic is used in there. I haven't found that out. Like, I was able to obtain magic, but I don't know how it was used. So. Right. So, but yeah, they have like a lot of stuff in their inventory. They have like a lot of weapons, items. So it's a lot there. It's just that they haven't perfected it. So I definitely can see down the line it being a lot better game. But I thought it was interesting enough to just play around with it for a little bit and check it out. I of course I played a little bit of Let It Die. I played some Craftopia, and then I was like, okay, Ray's been on my head saying that I ain't been playing much, and all I've really played is Craftopia and Let It Die. So I need to play something else, but there's not really anything else for me to play.
Right.
So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just go ahead and crack open Watchdogs Legions finally and toss it in there. So
finally,
I put in Watchdogs Legions, and I played the first little mission. I literally played it right before we started the podcast. Right. So I haven't had a lot of time, but I did get that in. I thought the first little mission was cool. I thought it was interesting how they set it up. You know what I mean? So, it's just like
the Legion
you're playing like this MI, 6 type of guy.
Yeah.
This Mission Impossible.
Yeah,
dude.
that was sick.
You're getting in there, and then you get to the top, and then it's like, oh, you thought you beat it, but nah, shit happens. And so it's interesting to see how Dead Set got demolished, and then how you have to essentially rebuild it. And that's why you need so many people. It's not just you, it's whatever. And so I thought it was interesting, the list of characters that they give you. You have to pick 3 to start with.
Did you do the permadeath mode?
I didn't.
You got to turn that on, man.
They said you can't turn on permadeath when you start the game.
Oh, okay. At some point in time, whenever you get a chance to, I would turn it on.
You think so? You think I should turn permadeath on?
I don't know. It made the game a little more fun for me. Maybe it won't for you, but it made the game a little more fun for me.
I just decided I wanted to check it out. You know what I mean? I didn't realize that Deathloop was so close around the corner to being next Tuesday.
It is, dude.
But
like,
so it's bad time to start a new game. So I might just try it out a little bit, and then and then when Deathloop comes out, I'll get Deathloop.
You don't want to get too attached to it.
Yeah, and then I'll just start another save and maybe try permadeath or something like that. I'll just continue where I was. You know,
I think you really like it, man. It's got like the Nemesis system from
right.
You know, Shadow of Mordor. Yeah, very similar. Really cool stuff.
Yeah. So I mean, I think I picked like some rich chick or no, like a social media influencer chick that had a car. I picked another dude that was a podcaster that had a drone or something like that.
Dude, the drones are really useful.
And then I picked another dude. I forgot what he did. He was something, a healthcare worker or something like that. But he had like a sleeping pistol that had like a sight, a long sight. I don't know if the characters are the same in a list or if it's like Rochambeau, just like a random RNG or like the list of characters you get to choose from.
Oh, the starting list?
Yeah, the starting list. I don't know if it's the same or not.
I thought it was the same, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
It doesn't really matter at all whether it is or not, because when you enter the world, everybody's recruitable.
Right.
Every NPC you come across.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's an interesting concept, and, that I'll have to try and check it out.
Exactly.
But as far as the first mission was concerned, I thought it was cool. It looked pretty good because this is the PS5 version.
Yeah, you got
upgrade
the PS5
now.
version.
So I'm able to play it with the updated graphics and stuff like that. And I think there was a couple of freebies that I got, like some gold gear or something like that. I think my car was able to get wrapped in some deluxe, paint job or something like that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool because when you start getting like all your I guess.
Your
upgrade points.
Yeah. The tech points.
Yeah, the tech points. You can unlock the tech and put it on any character.
Oh, okay.
So it doesn't matter what character you choose. So what I would normally do is like if I'm starting the mission for the first time, I would just pick like a pissant, but I would give him like at least a spider bot or something.
Okay.
Something useful.
Right.
And you just use him to kind of scout out the zone, like use the spider bot and stuff.
Yeah.
Because I don't care if he dies, and I can use that tech on any character. It's not like I lose the spider bot for good.
Okay.
Like once I have it, I can put it on like any character.
That's cool.
As long as they have like a slot,
Right.
So, and you can replace what they have on them already with one of the techs you want.
Right.
So like if you didn't want that sleep dart, then you can put a spider bot on it or something.
Right.
So like you can make all of your kind of pissant guys useful because you can put whatever kind of tech you want on them.
Mm-hmm. But
then you have some guys you come across that have like unique talents. They're like legendary.
Unique weapons and
unique
things like
weapons.
That, yeah.
Like you need a unique spider bot. Like it does more than just be a spider bot.
Right.
Like it might have a machine gun on it or something.
Yeah.
Like it's pretty dope. And you gotta like hunt for those people in the world, and they're a little harder to recruit because they're like a little bit like a quest line.
Yeah.
But you don't bring those guys out for like every mission, but you have them ready when it's like a tough mission.
Mm-hmm.
Like there was one mission where there was quite a bit of killing, so like I picked the guy that had a little bit more firepower on him.
Right.
And I went into that. So like my previous guy died or whatever.
Yeah.
So I went into that mission with like a better character, and it's really good, man. It's really cool. I had enjoyed it. I played it a lot, and once I got the construction worker, I was able to get like every single tech point on the planet, like because they're like high in the skyscrapers or like they're low. I just flew to every single one of them on the map.
Oh, okay. You just clinked it out, huh?
Them up,
yeah,
because it was so much easier with that freaking dude.
Yeah,
that's why I said like that really made it enjoyable.
Right.
But anyways, that's cool, man. So
yeah, so that was all I played. So enough of that. Ray, why don't you go ahead and give us the quick shots?
Quick shots for the week. Our first quick shot. Maybe you know this, maybe you don't, but I thought it was neat news. The PS Plus game Hitman 2, so that like just came out Tuesday.
Right.
Can run at 4K, 60 frames per second, and it has DualSense controller support.
Really?
Yeah.
They added all those upgrades to it, huh?
At no cost.
Hitman 2.
Hitman 2. So just that straight version you get for free has all that on it.
Interesting.
So my first thought was like, download that trash, man.
Yeah.
Like, that was really cool news.
Yeah, especially for it to be so old and then for them to add those features on there. That's kind of cool because that's something a little new, That's what's
so I was like, that might be the weekend game, Who knows? Like, that was, like, really cool to hear. So I was excited to hear that. We kind of, when I added this to my news, we hadn't seen the PS showcase yet.
Yeah.
But Alan Wake Remastered
is
coming out. And, I just wanted to give a little note, like from Alan Wake Info and AlanWake.info. They say that the creator of Alan Wake says, "I'm beyond happy to tell you that the time of writing this Alan Wake Remastered is nearing its completion."
Oh, okay, so it might be releasing really soon.
It's really completed.
They didn't give a date on it on the showcase.
I don't think they gave a date exactly, but it's confirmed, announced, and coming up in partnership with Epic Games publisher. It's going to be multi-platform, PC on the Epic Game Store, Xbox, and for the first time ever on PlayStation. Which that was like the coolest news. Because it was an
Xbox game.
Yeah, that was like the coolest news to me.
Yeah,
that it was on PlayStation, but we learned that in the showcase anyways.
Right.
So that news is not as awesome.
Yeah.
But when I saw it, I was like, that's pretty sick news because Alan Wake is like a cult classic. I know you really loved it. You played that game through.
I played Alan Wake. I thought it was dope.
It was a really cool game. So I thought that was neat news. Coming to PlayStation, that's pretty sick. CD Projekt Red, I feel like they're in the news every week with something, man.
Something slight. It's always just a little something about them.
And this is something slight. CD Projekt Red is asking their audience to fund their next comic book, The Witcher Ronin. So my first thought was like, so the company valued at $7 billion needs to kickstart their next comic book? I was like, give me a break, dude.
And a comic book at that.
Yeah, but my thing is like, you're going to make money on the comic book. You're going to sell it to people. Everyone's going to buy it.
Yeah.
What do you need to be kickstarted for? You're the complete opposite reason why Kickstarter exists.
Right.
Kickstarter for people that don't have
billion-dollar companies.
It isn't for billion-dollar companies.
It's for three guys in their garage trying to start a billion-dollar company.
To start their first comic book, right? Yeah. It's like, I just was like, dang, what is wrong with CDPR, man?
That's interesting.
I don't get it, dude. Like,
maybe they want a different type of support. Maybe they need like a sign this petition to get this through to my
superior,
my board,
my boss,
my board of directors or something like that.
Oh, show the board of directors is popular.
Show them that we want money. That you guys actually want this.
What a joke, man! Like I don't know. I'm just like another PR mistake by CDPR.
Yeah.
The next piece of news that we have, I thought you're gonna like this. Team Ninja.
Okay.
Came out.
Interesting. Okay. All right.
CD Team Ninja.
Shots out there.
That sounded like a
paintball gun,
like a cap gun or something. It
like
didn't
that,
sound like, if anything, it was like a 22. That didn't sound like anything meaty.
Yeah.
But that's like, whoa. Am I running?
Should I duck?
Should I duck?
Yeah. All right, go ahead.
Team Ninja, the creators of your favorite series, Neo.
Yeah.
Has announced that the Neo franchise has officially sold over 6 million copies.
Okay.
Worldwide.
They probably did a lot more better with given that combination of Neo and Neo 2.
Totally.
They probably sold
I'm
a
sure
lot
Neo
more
only
too.
sold probably like maybe 1 million, but Neo 2 probably really sold a lot.
Yeah, I think Neo 2 definitely set them up.
Did the
for
majority
a good
of that 6
And
million.
then I think people playing Neo 2 were probably like, "Oh, I want to check out Neo 1 to see how that one was."
And then they rebuy
and they
Neo
gave
1.
you the bundle.
Yeah,
So yeah, you get
definitely.
that. Yeah,
my first thought when I saw this was, we should be definitely getting Neo 3 now, right?
I
like
hope
this
so.
probably all but confirms.
I hope so, man.
Why would they not? This is like a very high selling game. That's like tons of money. 6 million copies.
Right.
I mean, times that by 60, and
It's
you got
a
a huge number.
but they've been able to stay in their own lane because of
it's
the
ninja
the Chinese
aspect.
mythology or whatever, you know.
I really like Neo 2 a lot. Like I really enjoyed it quite a bit.
Yeah.
I played it so much. I did every mission like over again that I got a little burnt out on it. That I walked away. I didn't quite get all the way to the end of it.
You gotta do the DLCs.
I really enjoyed it, dude. Huh?
You gotta do some of those DLCs that they were adding on there.
Some of the DLCs were cool. Yeah. I know you did the DLCs. Yeah. I really had a good time with it. I liked the combat system, the key bursting, and collecting the key back and like keeping the combo rolling.
Yeah.
Like really fun. And the last quick shot I have for this week is Ubisoft announced the season pass list for Far Cry 6. So it's $40.
40. I wonder how much is in there.
You get 3 DLC episodes, and each one of them are one of the old villains from the Far Cry series. So episode 1 is Vosh. It's called Insanity.
Didn't you say? Was it you that said that that you saw that they were doing that and your wife didn't like it or something?
Yeah,
like that?
Yeah, exactly.
They
didn't tell us it was going to be
something
this.
else that was a combination of all of the villains that you could play.
Yes, and it just looked a little bit like gross. My wife thought it looked like a little too gross to play like these evil people like that.
Right. Is that what this is? Or
that's
no?
what I think this is.
Okay.
I think that's what the season pass is.
Okay.
So you had Voss, that comes in November this year.
Basically 1, 2, and 3.
Pagan Nim, the next one.
Pagan Nim.
Called Control, that comes in January next year.
Mm-hmm.
And then Joseph from Far Cry 5, which you haven't played yet.
Okay.
He's in March 2022.
I wonder if they're gonna add one for Far Cry 6's villain.
That'd be sick. It is weird playing as the evil guy. That is a little bit strange, but I mean, as long as it's fun.
I think they're trying to. They probably are trying to humanize them at this point.
They might be trying to humanize and give us reasons.
To not be such a villain.
Let us know why they went the route they went.
Yeah. See where they went astray.
Help us sympathize with the villain.
Yeah, I mean, when you hear the villain of Far Cry 6 talking, it seems like he's in his head has logical reasons to why he does what he does for the country. So he's already convinced himself.
Yeah, he's got his reasons. He's a psychopath, but he's got his reasons. Yeah. Of course, they don't rise to his conclusions. But he's got his reasons for sure. So I thought that was pretty cool to see that.
$40 for 3 DLCs.
Yeah, I didn't know that they were going to put these little villain things behind a paywall. $40.
Yeah.
Like that's what I think is pretty surprising to me. I thought it was just going to be something like a little fun thing to do on the side.
How much do they normally charge for like the season pass of all the other games? Isn't it like $20?
I always thought they were around 30.
$30?
40 seems a little steep to me. That's as much as Kenna.
Yeah.
That seems a little steep to me.
I wonder how many hours. Did they say at all how many hours they're giving you of gameplay? Maybe it's like a good 6 or something hours of each one. That might be worth
probably like 5 hours each, yeah.
Yeah, it might be worth it.
Like 5 hours each, like 15 hours of gameplay. If it's a good solid 5 hours.
If it was only like 3 missions
and not
or
fluff
something
or something.
like that'd be kind of bullshit.
Yeah, if it's a good like solid 5 hours, then that's worth $40.
Yeah.
For sure. As long as it's a solid 5 hours and it's not like you could get 5 hours if you explored every nook and cranny and did every side quest. Give me 5 hours of play, man. That I don't have to hunt for.
Right.
I don't want to hunt for 5 hours. Just give it to me.
And it's interesting because you would be playing these games from the previous landscapes. All the old maps and stuff like that.
So it might be interesting to see how they look, especially like Voss,
updated graphics,
Far Cry 3.
Yeah.
That's pretty darn old.
Right.
How it will look on the PS5 or something.
Right.
That's pretty dope.
That's cool. So that's it for the quick shots?
That's it for the quick shots.
Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and get into the first topic. So this one is about Horizon Forbidden West. So it looks like they just recently showed like the deluxe editions and all of that stuff. But one of the biggest issues that there was that Forbidden West didn't give you an upgrade. Right? I believe we had talked about this last episode, and it was like you had to pay for the game all over again if you bought it for the PS4 and you got a PS5. And that was just absurd, the fact that they wouldn't offer an upgrade. Well, it seems that PlayStation heard all of the complaints and they decided, hey, we're going to go ahead and give you the option for a $10 upgrade. If you bought the game for $60, you could just pay $10 and get it upgraded to the PS5 version at a later time. Which is cool because, that now doesn't deter people who were like in the process of trying to get a PS5 to like just hold off on games because, I got to buy this shit all over again for the PS5. So I'm not going to buy this one. I'll just wait this one and buy something else or whatever. But it's unfortunate that we still have to pay for these, these upgrades just to play their new system. You know what I mean? They're just making sure they ensure that $10 upgrade charge. You know what I mean? That $10 fee. They're making sure that they get it. However you want to shake it.
They actually said here, players who purchase Horizon Forbidden West on PS4 will be able to upgrade to the PS5 version for free.
Okay.
And then it says, I also want to confirm today that moving forward, PlayStation first-party exclusive cross-gen titles, so if they are cross-gen, both digital and physical, will offer a $10 digital upgrade from PS4 to PS5. So this is the last time they will ever offer a free upgrade.
Right, which was the next one.
So there's
that
no
the fact
point,
that they're no longer
there's no point in buying the PS5 version of Forbidden West.
Right.
There's no point in buying it because you get the free upgrade of the PS5. So you might as well spend the $60. Why would I buy the $70 version of Horizon Forbidden West?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
so
that's weird to me.
You're able to pay for that $60 and get that upgrade for free, but from now on, no PlayStation first-party title will be available with the free upgrade. You're guaranteed you're gonna have to pay that $10 for it.
Was this just like a mistake, and they made a mistake, or because I know last week we talked about this. My perspective on it was that they were trying to give you an ultimatum.
Right.
You gotta make a decision now. We're done supporting the PS4. You need to decide.
Right. Buy a PS4, buy a PS5.
Buy a PS4, buy a PS5.
Yeah.
But they came out so fast. I mean, we couldn't even release that podcast before they freaking reversed their decision.
Yeah, because we recorded it on Friday.
And it was like the next
with that
day,
news was brand new. And then on Saturday,
they reversed it.
They were saying, oh, no, wait, we'll let you pay $10 to upgrade it. And then by Tuesday, they were saying, we're just going to give it to you for free. We'll give you the upgrade for free. But this is it. Like, we're not doing this again.
Right.
So it's just like, damn, bro. You guys are really fucked up over here. You trying to figure out what's going on. Like, you got a lot of backlash for saying you weren't going to allow an upgrade for it. And that's understandable. You know what I mean? But
I don't
for
even
you guys to just say, you know what, shit, we're just going to give it to you for free. But this is it. We're not doing this anymore.
Yeah, like, I don't think people were asking for a free upgrade. No. They just wanted the choice to upgrade later.
We were asking for a free upgrade.
Yeah, but I think that people would have been fine had it just been the standard model. If it's cross-gen and you buy a PS5, you can upgrade your PS4 copy for $10.
Right.
I think, like, I've always had an issue with the $10 more fee. We've already had this discussion. You agree. But that's what I think people were, like, shocked. That there was no option on this game.
Yeah.
That was like foreign.
That was the crazy option.
That makes no sense.
Yeah, that if you bought the 4, you're stuck with the 4. Like, there's no
right.
PS5,
you're stuck
no
with the
DualSense,
4.
None of that.
You're toast. If you want to play it on PS5, you got to spend $70.
Right.
If you want to do that. And that's what was like the outrage over for me and for the community. It wasn't necessarily like I was asking it. I was asking, but it wasn't like the community was asking that they give it to me free.
Yeah.
So that's really cool. I think it's probably just a sorry. We're dumbasses. Here's a free upgrade.
I don't know. Do you think it was kind of like...
or was it a mistake?
Do you think it was a game that they were trying to play? Like, do you think that they went to the extreme of saying you either buy a PS4 game or you buy a PS5 game? There's no upgrades. Just so that they could then take it back and say, all right, fine. We'll just charge you an extra $10 for the upgrade. To make it so that you're more appeased to pay $10
kind of like a 3 steps forward, 2 steps back kind of thing.
Yeah, or 3 steps
to make you feel
back. Yeah,
3 steps forward, 2 steps back, kind of make you feel like you won something.
Yeah.
When
it's
you
like,
really didn't win nothing.
I get the $10 upgrade, but they were planning on that $10 upgrade all along. They've been doing that.
So
all
now they're
along.
okay with it.
So now you're okay with paying it because you realize what it could be.
Nothing.
As there is no upgrade.
Right.
You either buy the $70 version or the $60 version.
That'd be totally sinister. But I would not be surprised if there was some actuary in the back there deriving up these ways to squeeze out every dime they can of people.
Yeah, I don't know. I was talking about that with Brahms. We were talking about that. It could be a possibility, man. It's like a strong possibility that they could have been plotting something like that, you know?
I thought they were plotting for an ultimatum to force people to get a PS5, and they would use this game to do it because it was so popular.
Yeah.
But blew up in their face. Or they could have been playing 3D chess, like you're saying, and they knew this would happen, and then they would get you on that 10.
Already checkmate.
Now they can get you on that 10 now.
As soon as you grab the board, it was checkmate.
You think you won and you lost. You know, it's like, maybe that's the case because that $10 fee is such bullshit, man. Like, I'm telling you.
It's definitely a bummer considering the fact that, you know, you're playing this new system and...
You paid $500 for it.
There's still games that are coming out for the PlayStation that are $60. They're not $70. It's just that every game that PlayStation has their hands on that's coming through them, it's their IP or it's from their studio, is gonna be $70. So it's just
it's really
damn,
frustrating when
you got Deathloop coming out, which is gonna be $60. It's not $70.
What makes it
PS5.
so rank, to help people understand my frustration, is if these games were only available only on the PS5, I'm not as pissed off about them making me spend $10 more. It's when they're cross-gen. I think if the game is cross-generation, it should be one price, because the only thing I'm getting on my PS5 that I'm not getting on my PS4 is a frame rate boost and a resolution boost. And that is all simply from the money I spent.
Controllers, upgrades.
If there is any. But oftentimes there isn't. That's strictly from the benefit of a better CPU and GPU that I just paid $500 for. You know what I'm saying?
Right, yeah.
The game is the same exact game.
To be able to benefit
the game is the same as that game. The only thing I'm getting is the better performance that I paid for on my console. That they're locking my performance that my system can just do on its own without breaking a sweat, because that's just what it does. That's what it was built to do. Right. Pump out performance. To be access to that performance, I got to pay an additional $10 tax. That's what I'm frustrated about. That's my biggest frustration. If God of War was only available on the PS5 only, and they charge $70, then I pay the price to get the game.
Yeah.
It's when I know
you have to
that the PS4 guy's paying $10 less, and all I'm getting is just I have to pay $10 more to get access to the hardware that I already paid for. That's what's most frustrating.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is at this point. You know what I mean? Just if you don't like paying for it, then you just gotta wait a little bit. You know what I mean? And then you'll find it on a little bit cheaper of a discount.
You could do it that route, to avoid paying that fee.
Yeah.
But it's just a tax. It really is the very definition of a tax. Yeah. Because you're a PS5 owner, you get taxed.
Yeah.
That's bullshit.
I would much prefer, like you're saying, like if all the games is gonna cost, it's $70 all around. You know what I mean? But you got to enjoy this game with your system that you got. And I guess I can enjoy it too, but I'm just not getting the full capabilities of my brand new system.
Right.
Out of the game.
I can buy the $60 game, but the only thing that game, the difference between it, is my system is not allowed to run it at what it's capable of running it at. Mm. Isn't that stupid? That's so stupid, man.
Yeah. So, for the next topic we have, let me see. We have PlayStation Studios adding a new studio to their arsenal, Firesprite. Let me see what Firesprite has done. Do you know what games they've done?
The Playroom.
The Playroom game and the Playroom VR
experience.
And both of those were pretty much games that were created to showcase the capabilities of the PlayStation and the PlayStation VR, just to kind of give you an idea of what it did, almost like Astrobot was, or whatever. Those games are almost like gimmicky games, just to show you everything that the PlayStation could possibly do. We're gonna put it all in this game right here, just so you see everything that it can do. So that's cool. That they've got these guys under there. I mean, I would have thought that, that the people who did PlayStation or Playroom VR and stuff like that were already on the team. But
yeah, because it felt like a first party thing. It was literally shipped
it's just for that.
Right. On the PS4, probably most of us played it.
They didn't sell any of those games. They were just there.
It shipped with the PS4, that Playroom.
Right.
And it's a really cool tech demo.
Right.
So I'll say this much. These guys here at Firesprite are very talented.
Mm-hmm.
They do a very good job, and the VR experience is really neat too.
Yeah.
So they're really good at interactive things.
Mm-hmm.
So that makes me wonder what kind of games are we going to see from these guys.
Right. Yeah. I wonder if they're going to expound on the Playroom, you know what I mean? And have a more intense Playroom VR or something like that.
Or just make their own game
that
has really
VR
cool interactions with the DualSense that we don't unique experiences that we don't normally see.
That too, yeah.
That we wish companies would do more of.
Right. Yeah, like fully utilizing the controller,
the tech,
but making another game that's just as good as like Astrobot was or something.
That's what
it's more of a game than just a tech demo of some sort,
That's what I'm hoping we see from them.
Right.
So I think this was a good purchase. Sony should I think this is the right path, right? Instead of like the Microsoft path, buying a big, massive studio, right? This path is much more logical. You gobble up young talent you see.
Yeah.
Those guys are talented right now, and they haven't done nothing yet. Now buy them.
Right.
Get them now while you can.
Right.
Right? And then they'll produce something great for you. Like, that's totally the right path when you don't have the money to compete with Microsoft.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
I think this is a great addition for PlayStation. This is a great addition. I can't complain. I really like Playroom. I never got to experience the VR Playroom. You probably did, but I'm sure it was great because they did a great job.
The VR one was cool. It had different aspects, of ideas. Neat. And there's been times where, because I got some nephews and they've, I'm the only one that's got a VR headset, and they've checked out my VR headset, and one of the games that they liked playing was that Playroom VR. There's like a bunch of quirky little games that are there, but they're cool little games that you can play with like a couple of people,
And they're all smooth.
And because
and
there's not
well.
like a lot of VR games, you know what I mean, that I wanted to purchase, you know what I mean, that was like a solid one to be able to see, what it had. But there was, a couple of games on there, so it was cool.
Yeah, and they're all polished, well done, well made games.
Yeah,
like very polished.
They looked good.
Yeah, they look good. They're
great.
very polished games. So this was a great pickup, man. Good news.
So
for Sony.
I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what they'll do with Firesprite.
Same.
See it whether it's VR or not. Just to see what they come up with.
Exactly. It doesn't have to be VR. Yeah, I think no matter what they do, it's going to be polished and good.
Right.
So
the next topic we have is a little recap on or finally a resolution for Epic versus Apple. So it looks like out of like all of the different lawsuits that Epic had against Apple and Apple having against Epic, Apple essentially won. But one of the bigger issues that they had, Epic actually won. And so that was the issue with telling people, hey, come to the site, the Epic site, where we'll give you a discount to buy our V-Bucks and stuff. So that Apple wouldn't get that 30% from the sales through their app.
Right.
So they were able to, retain all of their money just by doing that.
Yeah, the judge said that Apple has to
allow that.
Offer an alternative route to purchasing things inside the game or inside the app.
Right. So it allows them to have all their links and stuff that purchase to a different website to purchase whatever it is, for that game. And I think that's reasonable. I
think that makes sense. This isn't the outcome Epic wanted. Epic wanted Apple to become just an open marketplace, and they can install their own third-party purchasing app inside the game.
Yeah.
They didn't get that ruling, but so it's kind of a tiny win for Epic. When you look at the statements from each company, Apple and Epic, it feels like Epic feels like they lost.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is what's Sweeney, I believe the head of Epic, on Twitter said today's ruling isn't a win for developers or consumers. Epic is fighting for a fair competition among in-app payment methods and app stores for 1 billion consumers. So they didn't feel like this was a win at all. And the question is, what kind of impact will this have on Apple's bottom line? Like, because there's an option to leave the app and go somewhere else, will people even do that? Or will they be like, nah, this is convenient. It's right here. I'm just going to press play now.
Yeah.
And not do this back alley route. And I think that's what the majority of people will do. Mm-hmm. So it's like Epic didn't really get anything here. Because Epic wanted to completely bypass Apple.
Right.
Like completely bypass
so
it.
They wouldn't have to pay them that 30%.
So they wouldn't have to pay them that 30%.
Yeah.
And I understand Apple's point of view when the judge said, it's not a crime to be successful. Right? Like, just because you're so successful, you're as big as you are, doesn't mean you're a monopoly and you're an open space. Like, you're just very successful. Mm-hmm. And that's true. And they negotiated with Apple a contract. and they breached that contract. And as one of the rulings too, the judge says you did breach the contract, so you need to pay back Apple that 30% you made during that period of time.
They had to pay them back like 12 mil plus like another 3.6 mil for something, right?
Yeah, because that period of time that they did that, that for that period of time before they were pulled off or whatever,
right,
they got their chunk for that.
Yeah.
And that makes total sense because, come on, Epic, you agreed to that. You signed that. So, I mean, you have to follow that.
They might have signed it under duress, but yeah.
Yeah, they didn't sign it under duress.
They agreed to it.
That's why when they sued Apple, it wasn't for the contract. It was to claim that they're a monopoly.
Yeah.
Right? So, and they lost that. And so I don't think this is the last we're going to hear from Epic. I think Epic's going to keep fighting this.
Yeah, I don't think that was the end of the war. I think they'll just figure out a different way to approach it.
I think Apple's happy
also
with
there's
this
the
ruling.
Higher courts that they can take it to, right? Like,
yes,
they go
they
like
could
the Supreme
push
Court
it.
and
They
stuff?
could push it higher.
Yeah.
There's no guarantee that those courts will listen, though.
Yeah, they
right?
might
But
not
that
take
is
it,
that is a
but
route you
it's a
can do with this
possibility.
ruling. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So it's interesting because they were ruled not a monopoly under antitrust law, and so I think Apple's really happy with this ruling. They kind of won. Epic did have kind of like an important win.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's, like you mentioned, that's an important part.
Yeah.
They are allowed to now direct their users to another option.
Yeah,
which didn't exist before.
I feel like I have the same kind of thoughts about how you have about are people really gonna take that other option to go off site or whatever? Because like, I mean, I'm sure people that have iPhones or whatever have like a couple of dollars on their Apple Pay or something like that, that they use to purchase things with or whatnot. And I download quite a bit of games to play on my phone, and a lot of them are from like Chinese companies. You know what I mean? And honestly, I don't know if I want to go to a random website to purchase, to give them $1 for some extra gems.
You feel really safe on Apple. Apple made that point in court.
Yeah,
that the reason why they're doing that is because they can guarantee
it's regulated
their users,
through them.
a safe, fair environment.
Yeah, you can get your money back if something wasn't produced in the game or something.
That is a fair point.
Right.
It's a very great point.
So,
I
mean, I would be thinking about that if I click on the buy now and then it sends me to a link outside of the app, I'd be like, oh, hold on. It's bad enough you guys put links in there to send me to like Facebook and shit to click like
I don't
on
need
something.
links. Like, what am I going? Is this a phishing site that's gonna steal? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But I also think that if there are outside links, there will be some way to manipulate the game into thinking that you made the purchase.
Well, and that's one reason why Apple didn't want any of that.
It'll be some type of like a crack or something like that where people are able to hack it.
You're right.
So that you get the
that's
profits
why Apple didn't want
without
any of
having
that.
To pay for it.
That's why they wanted to avoid anything like that.
Right.
Because they lose control of being able to promise you a safe environment. That was their argument.
For sure.
One thing I wanted to ask you before we move on here is, does it matter? Would it matter to you if you were an app developer and Apple said, we're going to take 30% of your profits for putting our thing on our app store? Or would you be like, I don't even freaking care because this is the largest audience on planet Earth and it's the best app store around. I want access to that audience. That's worth whatever they ask.
I would care to an extent, because like if you're creating a product and you're trying to sell it, automatically that's 30% of all your profits that you get from that aspect. Which if you're dropping a free game, that is your profit, is whatever's done through the store.
Right.
And now they've got 30% of it. And then you have to divvy the rest out to the rest of your employees, to your business and you. So it's like, damn, you're cutting into my money, and I'm a small business as it is. So it's like,
but you cannot make money without their store. Without their audience, you can't make money. Where else are you going to go?
Well, I mean, you can eventually put your stuff on like Google Play. I don't know what Google Play's thing is, but
I think theirs was 32.
At the end of the day, if that's the fee, that's the fee.
Right.
So you would be introduced to that fee up front. There's no other way around it, unless you want to make the game for Steam or something like that. But I'm sure Steam gets a cut.
Yeah, but if you want it on people's phones.
Right.
Right.
So you want it on people's phones. So, that's the price that you have to pay. So, it's the same way you have a price to pay if you're using Unreal Engine as opposed to something else or whatever. If you want to publish the game, this is how much it costs too. So, I mean, at the end of the day, you're not seeing it up front. It's not an upfront price. It's like an after the fact price. I mean, you do have an upfront price that you have to pay to get the game published onto Apple's games.
Right.
And then there's that little price that they're taking off of everything. So it's like, I guess for me, it wouldn't be as bad because I don't see it right then and there, right? You made a $1 purchase. I see 70 cents from it. All I'm seeing is the 70 cents. I don't see the $1 and then them taking
Right. You're
from
just seeing
me.
the 70 cents.
I'm just seeing what happens on the back end, taxes.
Yeah, and I think that's what
I get taxed every paycheck. So
yeah. But I'm
like
just saying, I think it's like you said, like that is the app world. It's not like there's another world out there that you can utilize, If you, as an individual, are like, I want to enter into the app world, then that's what it costs to enter into the app world, and you know that up front.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't matter to me because I want to enter into the app world.
Yeah.
So what does it matter to me what they take from me?
It's the same reason companies like Bethesda and stuff have their own in-house engines that they run their games on.
Right.
Because they don't have to pay royalty fees to Unreal Engine or any of the other ones, because they made their game on that program. You know what I mean? So they make their own program and then they make their games on that so that all that money stays in-house. And then they have to pay whatever percentages to the other places.
Right. That's the smart way to do it. Is you make your own.
Or whatever.
That's something you can make your own marketplace.
So, I mean, you ain't a game developer, a mobile game developer ain't going to make their phone. So, or a new market, some totally new market that you can get the game from. I don't even know how they would do that.
I think it's relatively partly generous, man. Like Apple basically invented that entire market. The app market that didn't exist before the iPhone. It's like they kind of invented that whole thing.
But at the same time, do you think that the technology by itself would bolster enough attention if people stop making apps for the Apple App Store? Like if a lot of game developers, mobile game developers, and app developers just said, the tax is a little too much. We're just gonna make our stuff only for Google Play.
Right.
You know what I mean? So now,
you'll see percentages come down.
One of the allures of getting an iPhone is that you have this enormous iOS store or whatever that you're able to purchase, like all kinds of games, all kinds of apps that are literally just made on the iOS. They're not even made for Google Play.
Right.
So if that stopped, if that large amount of apps stopped and they were all on Google Play now because it was more affordable for them to be on there, would that entice you as much?
Entice me as being Apple?
Like, yeah, to
if I'm
just,
Apple?
No, as being a consumer. Like you have the iPhone and the iPhone does great stuff alone, but they just got a really shitty app store.
I'd want an Android phone.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like all of the good apps there, the sneakers app, whatever, the Adidas app, all of that stuff is on the Google Play phone only.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's like, damn, well, I really want this Google Play phone because of this app or this game that's coming out, but they ain't doing it for that. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's a couple of things that might be better as far as specs are concerned than an Android phone, but I would rather deal with that and have the Android phone and have this enormous library of games and apps, to choose from.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think they go hand in hand. So I think Apple could get too greedy at some point.
Absolutely.
And end up biting
it's an elastic
system.
It's elastic. Yeah, there's the elasticity there that Apple has to juggle. I'm just saying, like, the notion is like, they're so big that I think they could even charge more. And what can people do about it other than go to Google Play? But I think you would still... Here's what I'm thinking is like this. Like, let's say Google Play is 10%, Apple's 40%. Let's say Apple raises their percentage up.
Yeah.
What do I care? I might as well just put it on there. It's just extra revenue for me. Like, what do I care? I might as well, even if they took 80%. What do I care? I might as well collect the 20% that I can that I wouldn't otherwise not be able to collect. I'm shutting myself off from it. That's kind of like my point is like doesn't really matter so much in the sense of like, I might as well. If I'm going to get into the app world, like I might as well collect all that I can collect.
Yeah, I guess the only counter to that is that if you are smaller, to publish these games, it's a different type of code. When you publish a game for Android and when you publish for Apple.
So it takes more effort.
So
the cost might not be worth it then.
You have to, and then you'd also have to publish in 2 different areas, so that also costs money.
Right.
So it's like, okay, yeah, you kind of want to go where the area is giving you more money, but it's like there's still quite a large amount of Android users. So like if I just go this route over here with Android, they're charging me 10%. And there's not as many as iPhone, but yeah, I probably make more money in the long run just having it on the Apple.
Because it costs me this much to switch over.
Yeah,
I know what you're saying.
But I do get what you're saying about might as well put it up there to get that little extra money.
Right.
So, I mean, maybe if like the entry fee was really low
or
non-existent, then that would be even
like,
more of an enticement.
Yeah, if the math
it doesn't cost to put your app on here. You just got to pass these qualifications to get your app on here, and then you get it on there for free. And then everything that you make, we charge in 40% or something like that. So I wouldn't be mad if they didn't charge me on the front end, but they charged me a little bit on more on the back end.
Because it's just plussing for you, regardless.
Right.
Yeah, I think the fear would be like if these companies like Google and Apple start to take too much of a cut, it becomes like not worth it to even make apps at all. And now you start seeing people say, you know what, I'm not going to get into the app business at all.
Do a PC
I'm
game.
just going to switch to doing, I'm going to keep my tech world here.
Yeah,
I'm going
to
keep my tech
Steam
world on
Deck
Steam.
now. I'll just make my game for Steam.
That's what I can see happening more so than like, because I think like you were saying, you know what you're getting into up front.
Yeah.
If you're going to enter the app world, then you know what it's going to cost you up front. You just know that.
Yeah, you've looked at those figures.
Yeah, you know that. It's not like it all of a sudden happens. Like, that's what it is to enter.
Right.
So is that worth it to you or not? Don't complain once you enter. Like, you knew what it was before you entered.
And certain games like that, it's kind of like, why does it even matter? Like Fortnite?
I know.
Why does it even matter?
Because it's mad greed. It is mad greed.
Like, you're making hand over fist.
You're already a billion-dollar company, It's like, what is
You're probably making a cool 2 or 3 million daily. You know what I mean? It's
probably more than
probably
that.
Not
but yeah,
even,
it's a
it's
huge,
probably not even
it's millions
affecting
a
you
day,
that they
dude.
take
It's millions
a million
a day.
out of that 4 million that you made.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, is it really hurting you like that? But hey, man, we don't own those companies.
When people see dollar signs, man, they just think it's mine. Give it to me. Like, it's not yours, right? It's just the way it is.
Especially if you told me like, hey, it's gonna cost you, 4 million, but you fuck with me, I can make you $1 billion.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
4 million?
That's what I'm saying with Apple. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, that marketplace is so massive that it's totally worth it to me.
Right.
Even if they took 30, 40, 50%.
That's nothing, man.
Because I'm going to make...
Sam is about to take more than that from me.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It's just the price you pay.
If your app is good enough,
make another game.
And you come onto my marketplace, you're going to become a billionaire.
Yeah, if you got
doesn't matter if I'm taking 30% from you or not.
Yeah, if you got 3 solid games from your production studios out there making buku bucks, then you won't feel it. You will not. Yeah. You will not see it nor know.
It's like you really loved it when Apple was there to make you big to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
And then now once you are big, you don't want to give them any other cut anymore.
Yeah,
it's like,
hey,
come on,
enough
man.
is enough,
Come
man.
on, bro.
Yeah, let's sign a contract where you get paid for 2 years, and then everything after that is just all my money. You know what I mean? They ain't signing that shit, but...
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not.
So on to the last topic, which is the best topic
what y'all been waiting for.
This one. Yeah, it's what we've all been waiting for, right? All of those rumors and all that news, and it finally happened. We got the PlayStation showcase. They had mad advertisements for it and everything, letting you know that shit was coming out on Thursday at 1 p.m. You be there or you be square.
Before we start breaking this down one by one here, what did you just think overall of the show?
I thought it was a damn good show.
Okay.
I was expecting a couple of other things, but I could see why it wasn't necessary with what they showed us. And I felt like the majority of the show was games I didn't know about or that were rumored, but we finally got like a confirmation or whatnot. It wasn't just rehashes of everything that we've seen already. You know what I mean? So I thought that they did a good job on it. But how'd you feel about it?
It started off with a bang, and we're gonna get into that in a minute. Like, it started off with a bang, and I was like, "Oh snap, this is gonna be the most epic showcase I've ever seen in my life." And it was cool again, and then it was cool again, and then I liked what they showed again. And I'm like looking at the clock, and I'm like, snap, dude, like 20 minutes have passed. Late. They said it was 40-minute show.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen a single first party game. Like, what is Sony doing? My mind was starting to think like this could be a catastrophe. Like, they haven't shown, like, the games they showed I like and I want to play.
Yeah. But you were looking for the first parties.
Yeah, because Sony said, we're ready to share with you what we've been working on. So I'm ready for all the first parties. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it just kept going. Third party. I'm like, snap, this is a show for Xbox fans. I mean, like, everything you see on here, it may be like a timed exclusive, but you'll eventually be able to play this on your Xbox. Everybody's going to be able to play this. So it's like, this is a show for all, you know? And I was getting a little bit like worried, like, dude, does Sony have nothing, man? Do these dudes have nothing? What's going on? I was getting a little concerned. And then they end it with a bang. So in my mind, it's like they started with the bang and ended with the bang. In the middle, they got a little lost, I think. And some of the games in the middle, I was like not too hip about, but some of them I really liked. But I was just thinking that it wasn't enough Sony for me throughout the whole show.
Yeah,
but I liked it.
Yeah, I wasn't really thinking that they did like that. I wasn't at one point thinking like, oh, they're doing a horrible job. I was just looking at all of the different games that were showing up, and it's like, okay, quite a few of those are just for the PlayStation, and then there are some that are like, you know, gonna be available, but there's like time exclusives, which is kind of like, what's the point? But you know,
yeah, like literally nothing for like the whole middle was exclusive to Sony. It wasn't until like.
So they started getting to the
until
very
Herman
end.
Hulse came out, like the last 10 minutes,
right,
and said,
here's what we've been working on.
It's like, okay, finally,
right.
But it was getting so close to the end, and they hadn't shown anything from first party Sony yet.
Yeah,
it was only like multi-plat games or things that were times exclusive. That I was like getting really concerned. That I was like, damn, dude, if this is all Sony has, wow, like this isn't good at all. It was getting to be a catastrophe, and then they salvaged it at the end, you know. But I was really hoping like the whole 40 minutes was going to be just Sony first party
bangers.
That would
have been dope.
That was my expectation.
I knew it wasn't going to be all of that. I figured they were going to show some type of indies or something like that in there.
Yeah, indies, but I wasn't expecting to see, for instance, Alien Fire Team or whatever, you know, Ghost Recon Fire, like Extraction.
Extraction, yeah.
I was not expecting to see that. That's
because we've already known that.
Game.
Yeah,
that's coming out day one on all consoles. Like, I wasn't expecting to see something like that, you know? I was really expecting to see things that were going to be first party or console exclusives only. And we didn't really get that.
Yeah, so with the first game... E3. Yeah. Well, I mean, and they avoided that, you know, whatever. But how'd you feel about the first game that was announced with Knights of the Old Republic, the remake?
Sick, man. Like, that's a great... That was a really great news to hear that, you know? Like, yeah. That's what I thought in my mind. They opened the show up with a freaking banger. And if this is what they're opening with, I can't imagine what the show's going to be like. And, like, that was sick.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I would have wished it was a reboot or something like that. But, you know, it's been such a long time that I won't remember everything in the story and whatnot. And for it to have the updated graphics and stuff and be a Star Wars game, you know, it's going to be dope. I'm going to wait for it till it gets a little bit cheaper.
What did you think about no release window?
The fact that we didn't have a time frame on it kind of sucked.
No time frame at all. What do you think that means? 2023, the earliest?
I don't know. There was a lot of games that were on here that I think were spouting for 2023.
Yeah, that's what it seemed like. But, it seemed like a 2023 show.
But I don't know. I guess we just have to see. You know, maybe they just didn't want to let the cat out of the bag like too early. You know what I mean? And they have to push stuff back. You know what I mean? They might be working out some issues or some details or something.
Yeah,
it would have been cool to see where they were at. You know, if they did some Dead Space type shit. you know, to show us where they were at, but you know, it was what it was.
It was a
we
little
already knew it was coming.
It was a little misleading, right? Like at the very end of the teaser, it says Star Wars Knights of the Republic, and then it says a Legend remade for PS5.
Right.
I was like, snap! This is a PS5 exclusive, man. But it's not. It's literally a timed exclusive.
It's coming to the PC though. That's the timed, right?
No, it's timed. So for the console, it will come to PS. It will come to Xbox.
It will.
Yes.
Okay.
So
is it coming to Xbox because it's coming to PC or what?
No, it's gonna be on the Xbox console.
Oh, okay. All right.
I think it's like a timed year exclusive. And but they said a Legend made for PS5. That sounds very much like it's exclusive just on PS5 only.
Yeah.
And then you learn it's coming out to PC, and then you learn it's a timed exclusive. I was like, come on, man, that's a little bit like shady. But
yeah.
All I know is Knights of the Republic is probably one of my top 5 all-time games.
Knights Republic is
one of the top 5 all-time.
Definitely one of those games.
One of the most memorable games I've ever played. It has some of the most shocking twists that I never saw coming. It's seared in my memory. Some of those, you know what I'm talking about. I'm not saying nothing,
right?
But it's seared in my memory. Some of those events that happened that I'll never forget.
Yeah, I mean it was definitely an awesome concept for it.
We played that in high school. That was like 20 years ago, man, and like,
yeah,
they're seared in my memory still. That's all I can say. It's just incredible.
So for the next game they showed was Project Eve. I didn't know about another Project Eve being made, so this was all new to me. I was looking at it and I was like, okay, I'm getting like this seemed like some Square Enix type music that was playing.
Totally.
You know what I mean? And then some other stuff going on. And then I was definitely looking at it at the attacking, and I was like, okay, it kind of reminds me of Bayonetta.
Same.
But it doesn't look like the girl, Bayonetta or whatever. And so I was just like, what is this? And, I was watching it and, Project Eve, and it looks dope. It looks like a good little hack and slash type of game. It's fast paced, action going on, I might get it, It
looks a tad run of the mill, doesn't it? Like a tad run of the mill.
I mean, the graphics looked good.
Yeah,
but as far as like the gameplay, it seemed basic.
A tad like mundane, like a little, basic.
Yeah,
just a little bit. Like I agree. Like the monsters look pretty interesting and cool, like pretty scary looking monsters, which always helps. Like I think the very last one was like almost like something from Dark Souls, and so I was really liking that. And yeah, my first thought, dude, was, is this like a Bayonetta spinoff? Because it's a chick and she's fighting, and it's like very similar graphics.
Yeah,
and like the same type of art style. And but no, it's a whole new project, and so it looked good, but it wasn't nothing that was like, oh shit, this is insane.
This is it.
It was just okay. That's decent. What's next?
Right.
Yeah.
And so what was next after that was, of course, Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, and they didn't really show too much more of the game. But it showed, they had like a little bit of the commentary going on, and they showed a little bit of action shots and stuff like that. And it still looked good. You know what I mean? I'm definitely looking forward to checking it out because I love, the Borderlands world and whatnot. And so this is a solid addition to it. And I'm interested to see how they're going to do this RPG-like, aspect, this Dungeons and Dragons like aspect on here. I'm interested to see that. So I've been waiting to see more of it.
Yeah, dude, I was really hoping. I was actually disappointed when I saw guns.
When you saw guns? I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, that felt like a little bit of like a lazy route. Like, it's like they just literally took their Borderlands engine and threw it in there, and so like you just. Because the engine's like built in with gunplay, they just kept the guns in there. I was really hoping for more of a Skyrim, like might and magic, swordplay, weapons, and there's that, and spells. But I was hoping for like just that. I think adding in guns, like it sucks away a lot of the mystic, RPG aspect, in my opinion.
But it is Borderlands. It's like, how do you have a Borderlands without guns?
It's not Borderlands though. It's a Borderlands spin-off theme. I mean. I thought it was going to be different. I thought it was going to be something new. I didn't think it was going to be Borderlands again. This isn't Borderlands 4. Yeah. Like, this is literally Tiny Tina's Wonderland. And so I thought it might have been like a new IP, like with the same, because it's Tiny Tina, so in the theme of Borderlands, but not literally another Borderlands. When I watch this, it just seems like another Borderlands. And I love me some Borderlands, so like I'm gonna enjoy this game, obviously, no doubt. But it's just not quite what I was like hoping for. I was really hoping for that kind of like RPG Skyrim Might and Magic, and there's some of that, and maybe I can just do that. Maybe I can have a build that just avoids guns magic, and I use like axes and magic or something. I don't know, but I was hoping that just is what it would be, and they forced us to play in a medieval world.
Yeah, I mean they kind of made an emphasis on guns, but I mean there is a guy using an axe, so
right. And there was one instance where they showed a chest explode and then there was like a sword in there.
Right.
So there's some
there
equipment.
are melee weapons.
Yeah, there's equipment like we're used to in like a medieval game like Skyrim. But they didn't just go all in with it.
But it's definitely just an altered
Borderlands
version of Borderlands.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So part of me thinks is like all it is just a backdrop skin. This is just Borderlands with like, a medieval skin to it, which I wanted it to be like, but it also a little more risky.
It looks like it plays different though. It doesn't look like it plays the
really
exact
looks like
same.
It plays the same to me.
I mean,
man.
if you're adding the dice aspect in there,
I don't know what it is. Is that a mini game or what is that?
I don't know. I don't know what it does.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't know what that was.
But another game for 2022 in March 25th.
You're right. It was March 25th. So, that was smart. They put it in March because like February is way too full.
Yeah.
And January is too full
for sure.
So that was a good idea. But yeah, dude, March.
Yeah.
Damn, 2022 is crazy.
2022.
Because I'm definitely playing this. It's just not what I was hoping for.
Yeah. I understand what you're saying. Yeah. I didn't think that there was going to be guns in there either.
Right.
But, it's almost like they feel like you can't have a Borderlands game without having guns in it and a lot of guns.
I think it would have been fun without guns still. But yeah, I know, man. They probably are afraid if they don't include that the fans aren't going to want to. Yeah, are going to perceive it the same way. Yeah.
But you're right. I mean, using the magic the way it was used and whatnot, it seemed like it was just like another ability that you'd be using, just like any other Borderlands game.
Yeah.
So, but the game after that was Forspoken, and we got to see a little bit more of like the introduction of how it starts and whatnot, and I thought that was cool. I was kind of looking at it, and I was like, damn. What is this? Because it looks semi-familiar as like something I might have seen, but I don't know. I can't put my fingers on it.
Just Final Fantasy style. I mean, it's Square Enix.
Yeah.
So
Square
Enix, has their engine.
Right.
That beautiful engine.
Yeah, getting teleported to that other world, and then I liked how it seemed like I don't know if the sound, the audio that was played was of her talking and whatnot and experiencing things,
or
if that's how it would be in the game, or if it was just like an overlay or whatever.
How'd you feel about that?
I thought it might be cool because if she's experiencing the powers and she's like, whoa, I can do this and I can do that and stuff like that, you know what I mean? It's like you're experiencing the powers with her. So it's almost like you're watching her do it, even though you're the one doing it.
I got mad Miles Morales vibes. Like, because like Miles kind of did that. You kind of comment as you play.
Right.
And then they kind of, I don't know, you had like the big New York City, and then like she's in another world and she kind of moves around like Spider-Man. I don't know.
She moves, I guess the similar movement, with like the grappling hook.
When you shoot yourself
like
forward and you kind of just move forward. I mean, there's no swinging, but there's some movement that was kind of like Spider-Man-ish.
Right.
And so I was kind of getting that vibe. But what's funny is I didn't expect that vibe. Like when we first saw the original trailer.
Well, I mean, all the quick movements and stuff like that, the dashing and stuff.
Do you remember when like we first saw this like last year or whatever? I don't remember when they showed this game off. And all we saw was just like a couple glimpses of her like dashing in the wilderness. And we thought it looked really cool. And they showed like some powers. There was no voice. It was completely silent. It looked like a serious game. Like there was going to be like a serious kind of deal and like a somber. I don't know. That's the kind of vibes I was getting from it. And I was expecting kind of like a serious
more
thing
dark
here.
Or something?
More dark.
Dark themed?
There you go. I was looking for like a more of a darker, grimy kind of feel to this.
Yeah.
And it's not. It's more like Miles. Like it's more like uplifting, jovial. Like you said, she's kind of talking like, I can move that with my mind. It's like, it's a little cheesy because I was kind of hoping for a little grimmer, darker story. But the gameplay looks so damn sick. I mean,
the way she was using those different abilities, you know, the little machine gun shots that she was putting out there in the dark.
Dude, that frost ability she did, where like she frosted and then like frost. I was
Right,
like, dude,
right,
she
right.
looks powerful. I'm just like, dude, like, I gotta say, like, even though they went in a different like narrative direction than what I thought they were gonna go, I can't say enough good about how this game looks.
Yeah, I thought it looked really solid.
Snap, dude.
I was just like, okay, damn. All
that
right,
looks.
what's up.
That's what's up, right?
Yeah. I was like, okay. I was already looking forward to it,
this
but
was
you know,
sick.
I was just like, all right.
I think they nailed it. I mean, the combat and magic, I think they nailed it, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
it looked like it would be fun to play, you know. So.
And I thought the girl was a likable character. Like, she seemed likable and down to earth. I just didn't want the jovial direction. I wanted like the grimmer, darker, you know, I'm fighting for my life.
And that might be only
direction.
certain parts
You know?
of it. You know what I mean? Like her getting acclimated to things.
Maybe.
And then it could get
just
darker.
seemed too jovial for like a
I don't
dark
know.
situation.
I don't know what she was doing on that rooftop or whatever. I don't know if she was trying to commit suicide or something. And this is like a different type of, you know, she was like hating her life, and then she went to go end it and ended up getting teleported here, and now she's got to fight for survival or what, you know. But
and we nailed that too, because I think the very first time we saw the trailer, like the very first one long ago, they showed like one glimpse where it like panned out, and we caught a glimpse of like normal human shoes, like
yeah,
and we're like, I think she might have teleported. That's my guess.
Right.
Sure enough, that's exactly what they did.
For sure.
I heard that
Chucks. So
I heard this is a 2-year timed exclusive.
2 years, huh?
2
Before
years.
it gets to the Xbox.
Yeah, 2 years. That's a long wait.
It is.
Usually they're 1 year, but I heard this is a 2-year timed exclusive.
Yeah, I wonder if when they do release it to other systems or whatever, if they'll do like a deluxe edition. You know what I mean? That'll have like if there's any DLCs or anything
all the
like
DLCs
that on
and
there.
stuff for sure.
Or if they'll just do the
because it's such an old game.
Then request, you know, that you pay, you know, for the updated stuff or whatever.
What's your guess, man? My guess is May 21st.
It says spring.
Yeah.
So I don't even know. It's maybe it's another March game or something.
May 24th, man.
Yeah.
Dude, whenever they say spring, they go to the very tail end of spring, dude. They go like to the
think it could be an April game?
I hope.
I mean,
but they always push
I don't know if
these
there's
things
anything
as far
in
as
the
they
April
possibly
window.
can. Nothing right now.
Yeah.
You know.
So I don't know, but it definitely looks like it'll be a good one. It looks
definitely
like it'll be a banger.
looking forward to it for sure.
And then after that, of course, they showed Rainbow Extraction. I feel like they didn't really give much extra on that. We already saw it.
I don't know why they bothered showing this. Like,
yeah,
they wanted to really get to 40 minutes, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so. They probably just
didn't even look that good. Didn't it kind of look lame? It looked okay.
It looked okay. Yeah, it looked alright.
Nothing exciting.
There was some parts of it that looked semi cool, but it wasn't nothing that was like, you know, outstanding or whatever.
Yeah, I wasn't too impressed with it.
Then the next game after that was, of course, what we already talked about, and that was Alan Wake the Remastered. So this isn't a reboot or anything like that. It's literally just a beautified version.
It's pretty beautified though. It looked pretty good.
It did look good,
didn't it? Like I was like pretty impressed with this remaster. Most remasters suck, but
yeah,
it looked decent.
This one is cool that they have it. I won't be getting it because I do remember how the story went and stuff like that. So this isn't one that I would pick up again, just me personally. But I think it is awesome that they did bring it back. I wish it had been an Alan Wake 2. But
it's a lazy route. It's a lazy route.
You know? I feel like they think like, oh, because we did the game once, there's certain storylines that we just can't do again. It's like, he was a reporter. Like, you could do another situation like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I mean, another thing is, too, like, you and I, we're gamers to the core. We have all the systems. We weren't, like, locked into one world. So a lot of people, like, for a lot of people, they lock into one world. And so, like, this will be new for them. Mm-hmm. But it was always super unique. The flashlight mechanics and, like, it was a really uniquely well-done game for its time. Like, you can't deny that. And so this is good news for PlayStation owners, and it does look like a really solid remaster, which most of the time they don't look that good, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, we haven't heard from Prince of Persia ever since.
They probably went back to the drawing board.
That game probably got scrapped.
I hope they would have just threw it away and just did a reboot.
That's what I know.
That would be their best bet.
It was messed up, dude.
Yeah,
you know?
It didn't look good at all.
Give it the God of War treatment, like go in a whole new direction.
Yeah.
But I was really surprised with how well it looked for being as old. This is an Xbox game.
Yeah.
This is an oldie, man.
Right. It's a 360 game.
It's 360?
It's a 360
yeah,
game.
This is old, man.
Yeah. One
Two
I was actually
generations.
surprised that they showed us was the Grand Theft Auto 5. I was surprised that they would put this in the showcase. We already knew that they were going to do that.
Right, it's already been announced.
So it's like, why would you show this to us?
It's
I mean, I
fluff,
guess
man.
it's
It's
like
fluff.
it's just like giving us Extraction, except like Extraction's a new game. This
True.
bitch has been
This is
out
even
for
worse.
almost 10 years. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, what, 6-7 years or something like that? So it's been out for a while. And for you to put this in the showcase, like, hey, we're bringing Grand Theft Auto 5 to PS5. It's like, okay.
Yeah, it was definitely at this point that I was like, what is
this?
going on, dude? This is scaring me. They haven't showed us anything.
I wasn't really scared at that point, but I was just like, what? Why are you showing Grand Theft Auto 5? Like,
scared? By scared, I mean, it's like you're only leaving yourself, what, 10 minutes? What, you're going to show us one game? I wanted to see, like, more first party. Like, what's Sucker Punch, what is Sucker Punch doing? Like, what are some of these studios that we're waiting on doing? You know, what is Media Molecule doing? Like, what are some of these companies doing that we haven't heard a single word from in a long time?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I was just like, I mean, it's like, darn it, man. They put some of these cool things behind paywalls. Like, so the PS5 version of the Grand Theft Auto 5 will finally have instant switching. It's like,
right,
the
because
PS4 version should have
SSD?
that on the PS5 already.
Well, I think it was probably an SSD type of issue, right?
Yeah, but
Like
you
a
can
fast
play this
loading?
on PS5.
Right.
And it's not instant. I've played it.
Oh, really?
It's not instant
It doesn't
switching.
speed it up more?
No, it's quicker, but it's not instant. This is instant. It's
So
like,
maybe-
damn, if you could do it, what the heck?
Maybe they just optimized the coding for it or something like
Maybe.
that.
You know what I'm saying? Like with the
But yeah, I
SSD,
get
it should be relatively instant. It's like,
So I'm
I
wondering
don't know.
if
I
there's
love
a
GTA,
free.
but
I'm wondering if there's a free upgrade for anybody who's already bought the GTA.
oh,
5.
I hope so, man.
Or
Because
if
I have it
they're-
on
if they're gonna
PS4.
make you buy it again.
I bought it on PS4, so it's
yeah,
like
we got it.
I
still
have
got
it, and I play it every now and again because it's one of the most incredible games ever made.
Yeah.
And it's the definition of escapism. You feel like you're leaving this world and going into another,
Somebody
and it's
else
like
completely
pretty
different.
simple, man. Like if you really want to get out of this life for a minute, like hop into GTA. But
Yeah.
I'm just disappointed because it's like, damn, like when I play this on a PS5, I should have these kind of features already.
Right.
It's just I don't know, man. They're making me pay for it all over again. I hope it's like what you're saying. If I own it already,
Free upgrade.
give me a free upgrade.
Yeah.
Or even $10, I'd probably pay it because I love the game so much. But don't make me have to rebuy this. Please don't make me have to rebuy this. I won't do it.
That'd be nice.
I won't do it, man. Like, I will not do
There
it.
will be people that buy it like that.
I know.
but
They'll even
it'll be
spend it and
nuts.
buy it all over again,
Yeah.
man.
So the next game that came out was Ghostwire Tokyo, and when I saw it, I was like, nah, this seems like Ghostwire. When I was
Same.
looking at it, I was like, oh, this is Ghostwire.
At first, I was
But
unsure,
it was
and then
cool
I-
to
yeah.
see how the story is initiated. You know what I mean? Because before we were just seeing the hand palm movements and stuff like that. But you're seeing like the boy, and and you're kind of seeing a little bit of the story and the things that are going on. And some of the the moves and stuff that they were showing were pretty
magic?
wicked. Yeah,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Those little palm strikes and stuff, and doing all that martial arts and everything, and the kicks and all that stuff. It all looked cool. It just looked like it reminded me of what's that wall runner game?
Oh yeah, Mirror's Edge.
Mirror's Edge. Yeah, it reminded me of like an amped up Mirror's Edge. With some magic, or whatever in there, because of the way it's like first person.
This is supposed to be a VR game, isn't it?
I don't think so. I think it might come out on VR, but right now it's just a PS5 game and PC apparently for spring once again.
It definitely looked cool, but were you afraid at all? It just didn't seem scary at all.
No, I
It's
definitely
supposed to be a
didn't.
horror game.
It didn't seem scary, but maybe it's because they were trying to showcase the abilities more in this trailer.
Maybe.
Than
But the
giving you an
combat looked
ominous
all
feel.
lively and bright. Like it just seemed like action. It seemed
Yeah,
like an
it looked
action
beautiful.
game. Yeah,
It
it's
looked
like an
those beautiful
action-oriented
moves and
game.
stuff, yeah.
Not like a horror game.
It might be,
Right.
but on those initial shows, the initial trailers, it seemed like it could be ominous, right? Because you had
Yeah.
the invisible,
Yeah.
schoolgirl outfits and stuff like that out there that were, like that you had to attack, dead corpses or something like that, or
Yeah.
ghosts. But yeah, this looks like something different.
It just seemed a little bit too lively. but that could just be trailer choice, like clip choice from the game that they gave us.
They try to do more action sequences and all that, so
right.
Maybe that's why I felt lively like that.
But I was like, this doesn't seem scary at all. But it looked cool. Like the powers look really dope.
Yeah,
and it's like, what was the one? Like, wasn't that battle royale with this magic kind of like that?
Oh, like Spellbreak?
Yeah, you just see like your hands and you're shooting things.
Yeah,
like that's kind of like what this feels like.
Right.
There seems to be like a little trend of that going on right now, where like you just see your hands and you're just like throwing spells out. Even that one game from the Xbox showcase that I had you watch. That was like Hell or something like that. And it was like pixel art or whatever, and he was like with just his hands and he was like shooting things around. It looked like Doom.
Yes.
Doom with spells. Remember that?
Yeah.
This is. Like
even Tina's Wonderland.
Even Tina's Wonderland. It's like there's like this thing
spells.
going on where like, you just see your hands in front of you and you're just like slinging stuff.
Yeah.
It's like a little trend kind of going on right now with that style.
Yeah.
But I mean, Bethesda's, they're great, right? Like this should be really good.
Yeah. And I'm hoping that this Ghostwire Tokyo will be pretty decent too. You know, I think it's an indie game, so
no,
maybe
Bethesda.
It's not. Oh, this is Bethesda.
So
Okay.
Bethesda Studio. It's not indie at all.
Yeah.
But there's an indie feel to it. I agree.
Tango Gameworks.
Tango game. Yeah. There's
so
definitely
another
an indie
company
feel
owned
to
by
it. You
Bethesda.
know, I agree.
Yeah. So the next game that we saw was Marvel's Guardian of the Galaxy. We've already seen this before. They've given a lot of info on this already.
Right.
I'm not sure why they decided to put it in here. Maybe they were just scrounging for a couple of extra minutes.
More fluff, man.
To put in there. It was only like 2 minutes or something. You know what I mean? So just adding a little extra. But I already wanted it, so you know this was just extra footage for me to see. But I already can't wait for this game.
It's really weird when they've already given us like a 20-minute play session of this game.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
like
they gave us an extensive look at it.
Of the game playing like for 10, 20 minutes straight.
Yeah.
What is a trailer going to do? Like, you've shown us so much of the game already.
It was almost like, hey, just in case you forgot, you know, here it goes.
Yeah, like let's say they had given us a trailer at E3 and that's all they gave us. Then another trailer's fine. But when you gave us like, hey, this is the game, and it's like, here's 20 minutes of me playing it.
Mm-hmm.
That's it, man. I'm done. I don't need to see that game like any longer. I've seen so much of it already.
Right.
Same thing with like, I think we're gonna get here pretty soon too, right? With the next one, after this next one. But like, same thing with like Deathloop, right? It's like, what in the world? Hello, we've seen these games like done to death already. Why are we seeing it even more? You know?
Yeah.
I don't know. It didn't. When they do things like this, it makes me less hype. I'm sorry. Like it drains a little bit of my hype, you know, because I'm like, dude, I've seen enough of this already, and you make me feel like you're just trying to like shove it down my throat now. And it's like,
yeah, I mean, I did wonder like, why are you showing this to me again? I want to see like, you know, I would rather see games I've never heard of before, you know, showcased in these showcases. But you know either way, I wanted the game already, and so
you know when
it didn't
you get
add
sick
anything extra or take anything away.
Like, you know when you get sick of something when you have too much of it. Like they see too much of a good thing is a bad thing.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of like what happens when this for me.
Okay.
Like when you're showing me too much of it, it kind of gets a little bit like a bad taste in my mouth. Like, okay, I had too much of that ice cream. I want to try something new.
I got you.
You know?
Yeah. And the next game that they showed was Blood Hunt. Now this one, we had recently saw something about this, just like a really quick glimpse of it.
Right.
Not too long ago, I feel. Like really recently. I think they might have showed it in that last little Gamescom thing or something like that. They showed us like a real quick look. And so, you know, they showed it to us again. Yeah. This one was another quick look. I kind of already guessed what it was when I saw the vampire-ish aspect on it. I was like, okay, this is Blood Hunt. You know what I mean? Because there wasn't like another vampire type of game that was like announced recently. So I figured this was what it was. And this is kind of like a PvP VE type of thing, right?
Dude, that's what I know. I wasn't sure, bro. Like as I was watching this trailer, I was like, damn, that looks pretty cool. And then I was like, wait a minute. They were showing factions, and so I was like, wait a minute, is this a multiplayer game? But then like they would show one of the vampires fight.
Yeah.
And it was like they killed things like so fast. They were like one-shotting things that I was like, nah, there's no way that this is PvP. They're just one-shotting me. There's no PvP going on. Like he literally just points his gun at me and I die. how can that be PvE? This has to be PvE. Because in a PvE game, you're just like grossly stronger than everything else around you.
Yeah.
And the only way you lose is when you get just like mobbed on by a bunch of the mobs in the game.
Yeah.
Because you're so grossly stronger than everything.
Yeah.
It was feeling like that because like when they would kill something, she was like running. A dude would be shooting at her. She just goes, boom, dead. And she like keeps running. It's like that felt PvE-ish to me.
Yeah, yeah.
But then like they were showing factions and then I was like, but where's the PvE at? And then the PvP at.
Right.
And then come to find out it is a battle royale.
And it seems like it's a large map. It seems like it's a very large map. But it seems like it's kind of slightly different. I think they've been trying to do a couple of those games like that are like battle royales, but you got to play against the environment too. I think I've been seeing a couple of those recently.
Yeah, more like a MOBA.
Yeah.
Where in MOBAs you gotta kill the towers and you're PvPing, but you have to go do the fields and get the enemies in the field to like get powered up.
Right.
Like something along those lines.
Yeah. So
but the PvE aspects looked really neat. Like that first zombie that was kind of like a little ghoulish and he was like sneaking and he was like invisible. And he had like a different, visual effect.
Right.
That was really, really solid looking. Like when you were stalking around.
Yeah.
I'm just like, why couldn't this be a single player experience? It looks really fun for like a single player experience. Why do I have to be looking over my shoulder, man? For that freaking no scope 360 master is gonna come kill me anyways.
Yeah.
I don't know. And at what point in time, man, have we oversaturated this battle royale market? Everything is like battle royale.
I think people are going to just keep trying different ways to approach the battle royale scene so that they can become the new hotness. So
we just got Hunter's Arena. No one's playing that. I just don't know, dude. Like, they're never-ending battle royales. And it's just a shame because I see a lot of potential here. I see a lot of really good potential here.
Yeah, but it might still be it might be a decent aspect. You know what I mean? It might not be what we think we saw. But we have to get more in-depth interviews from the developers and stuff like that to kind of get a better understanding.
PvE. I'm watching some of this again.
Right.
Like the one scene where the guy's running on the roofs. And there's some guy shooting at him, and every shot's a miss.
Yeah.
And then, like, he gets up there and just one-shots the guy. It's like, there's no way that was a human.
Right.
That had to have been a PvE type
weapons,
thing. Yeah. It would have been a battle, right? Like, there's no way that was a human. Yeah. So it's like, they make it seem like you're playing a PvE game. I don't know. Because I think they know that their PvE combat's really good.
Right.
And maybe their PvP isn't so good, because we didn't really even see PvP there.
Or at least not that we know of, anyways.
That we know of, yeah.
So the next game that they showed was another kind of but it was Deathloop. And they showed us another quick video of that, but it's kind of like, maybe it's just like the last show because it's coming out next week. So it's just like, hey, remember this is coming out. Like, hey,
hilarious, bro.
Like last month we showed you a shitload of content, but like, hey, remember this bitch is coming out like next week, bro.
You remember?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, you just showed me like an hour of it.
So it was kind of like, okay, it kind of gave a little bit more info with telling you there was like 5 or 6 assassins, and then the one that's chasing you was the heavy one on the list, but yeah.
They gave us a little bit more of the story, right? Like he wakes up amnesia every time, it seems like, and you leave notes.
The island that he's on is a prison, and they all are supposed to relive that same day over and over again, and it's supposed to be like one party or whatever, but they're trapped. You know what I mean? So I thought that was, at least, interesting tidbit of information. At least they gave me something new, but it's like I really don't need it. Like, you could have saved that info. I would have much rather experienced that, learning that info when I played the game. You know what I mean? Like, you could have saved all of that shit. Like, you didn't need to put that in here.
I know, it's like,
you could have saved this a little 2 minutes.
What is this for, man? It's like, if you didn't sell me on the big ass developer,
tell me how it's played.
Big ass developer state of play. Then it's not like I didn't care with this game, and all of a sudden this trailer convinced me.
This sold me, dude.
That did it.
Yeah. Dude, once I found out what the story was, that sold me.
Now I'm in. This I just think it did nothing but like almost look stupid. Kind of hurt there. stock.
That's
my opinion, man.
It was definitely fluff. It was probably some shit they cut off of
like
one
fluff.
of their other trailers, and they just like, we'll do another one. Let's throw shit, Bob. I forgot we had another trailer. Just throw this in the
Bob,
showcase.
We're 4 minutes shy.
Man,
I know. Deathloop.
Throw Deathloop in there.
You know, some might have forgot.
Throw extraction in there. Just throw
extraction in there. We already showed 40 minutes of Avengers. Throw one of them in there too.
Yeah.
You know.
Right. So.
Not Avengers, but Guardians of the Galaxy. It's like
Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah.
Give me a break.
Kid Amnesia or Kid
Amnesia. Yeah, Kid Amnesia or something like that.
Yeah, that one seemed like that one was semi-interesting. It was an epic game. So, you know, they
creepy
still
looking.
Doing their thing.
Totally creepy. I was expecting something really interesting. It was just more like a tease, though.
Yeah, it was a super quick little trailer. You know, and it didn't really give us a whole lot of stuff. You know, but I guess this was based upon music.
Yeah.
So
yeah, an album.
Yeah,
so I guess we'll see what this is all about. I have no idea. Radiohead. Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't. It literally was just like a straight up image. It didn't really didn't give you shit.
It's just a straight teaser, man.
Yeah. So when we get these, I feel like I'm watching an Xbox showcase, because that's some shit Xbox would do. Give us a fucking teaser.
This felt like an Xbox showcase from like start to finish. Not
shit.
Finish.
Say it's coming in November though.
Yeah.
I don't know what year.
If you don't have gameplay,
no, it
yet,
said
man,
November of 2021. But why ain't you showing shit? This is the first time I fucking heard of this game. But you ain't show me shit.
It comes out in 2 months, man.
Yeah, like what's going on here? You didn't show me a damn thing about this game,
until
and it comes out in 2 months. Hey, good luck to you, buddy.
Somehow it made it on the showcase too.
Dude, they were scrambling for time, man. It was like, hey, man, I know we want to show you God of War, but we need to fill it in a little bit.
Dude, totally.
We already announced that this was 40 minutes, and we're just a fucking few minutes shy. Let's just throw some shit in there. Kid Amnesia, all right. Let's
that's
put
what
it in
this felt like, man. In a lot of ways, that's what this felt like.
Hey, Tachia. What the fuck was that?
Do you remember this?
I don't remember.
She possesses the animals.
Yeah.
She
That's
flies
it.
around and then she like flings herself into an animal.
Extra indie game, right?
Very indie-ish.
Yes. I thought that I was kind of like, what the hell is it? You know what I mean? It's not like completely unique, but it's definitely going for like an artistic style, right? The way that they did their characters and stuff like that. I was a little scared when it introed, when she was playing the little ukulele or whatever.
Like, this better not be a music game, man.
Damn, you gotta play that shit. But they stole that straight from fucking Last of Us.
It's the same exact thing, right? I swear it's like the exact same.
The chords that you play.
Yeah, I swear it's like the exact same mechanics.
Right, but I mean, it seemed like the world might be interesting to go through. You know what I mean? And the fact that you get to transform into all of these little animals to explore the world could be interesting. It just seems like it's a little exploring type of game. To me, this feels like a game that should be given to PlayStation Plus subscribers.
I agree.
For a free PlayStation 5 game.
For me, it depends.
But I don't know.
If they're holding back something, then maybe not. But if it's strictly an explorer game, there's no way I want to play this. Like, okay, the world looks beautiful. It is a cool mechanic, possessing animals.
Yeah.
But I need a reason to explore this world. Like, I'm not one to just want to run around an island and look. I need like a reason. What am I
didn't see
doing?
any combat.
Yeah, what am I doing? What is the point? Like, why do I want to explore every aspect? Why do I want to go underwater? Just to see it? Like, I need some kind of reason.
Oh, maybe there was combat with the little slingshot. But,
that wasn't much. That wasn't really combat, man. That's more like a distraction.
Yeah.
It's a shame because there's a lot of things about this that are very beautiful. Like, the art does look great. It's very pretty looking. I like that idea. It seems very well made, that mechanic of possessing. It's very seamless. It's very smooth. But I need something to do, something that pulls me in, man. Something that sucks me into the game, that makes you want to go back to that world, explore every square inch of it.
Yeah, the artwork is cool, but yeah, it definitely needs like a reason.
There's no reason.
A good enough reason to why you're exploring or doing what you're doing. You know what I mean? So I'm hoping that I can see like more of it eventually. to get like a better understanding of it, to see if it's something even worth my attention.
Right.
But it didn't pull me in like, Kenna did. You know what I mean? Like Kenna looked like something different. And it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I know
like,
what I'm doing. The combat, I'm
yeah.
collecting, I'm getting stronger. You see what you're doing. You see the point here. You're battling evil. Like, you see the point.
Mm-hmm.
There's no point here.
Yeah.
They gave me no point.
Right. Another one that was kind of like, okay. Uncharted Legacy of Thieves collection. Right? So this is a combination, right, of Uncharted 4 and Lost Legacy, and they're being remastered for the PS5.
Oh, and
the PC.
So that rumor was true.
So it's kind of like, I felt like this should have had all of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? Yeah. It should be the entire shebang.
Right.
But it's only those two, and I did see Lost Legacy clips or whatever, and I was like, at the beginning or whatever, and I was like, oh, this is that Lost Legacy one, that little small DLC that was like almost its own thing.
Yeah.
But for you to give Uncharted 4, like, I feel like you should have just made this the whole thing. Like, you should have just gave us the whole
100%,
collection.
Man. Then maybe I'd buy it.
But I feel like they just gave us an Uncharted collection. Maybe that's why, because they gave us 1, 2, and 3
on the PS5
just recently on the PS4.
Right.
They just recently did like a remastered, 1, 2, and 3 updated version. And so they got 4. So they're like, okay, we'll do 4. And we didn't do Lost Legacy, so we'll add that. But it's like, I feel like they should have went on and just gave you the 1, 2, and 3 as well, to make this like, you get the whole collection, all PS5 upgraded, all PS5 graphics.
It shouldn't be a problem.
All that stuff.
I mean, I love me some Uncharted 4. I love that game. It's incredible. But I mean, come on, dude. Like,
I would have much rather them had given us another spin-off or something like that of Uncharted than to give us just this collection.
Was Uncharted on the PS collection?
Yes. Uncharted 4 Thieves End was on the PS collection. Hey.
Bro, like, everyone in the world's played this. You gave it to people for free.
Yeah.
I'm like, what in the world, man? Come on. Naughty Dog, dude, give us a game. What are you doing?
Yeah, so, that was kind of just like a why. But, again, it's there if people want it. If people didn't get it. If you got a PS5 and you didn't pick up a Thieves End, like, fuck is you doing? Like,
if you got a PS4 and you don't have a friend who can log on to their account through your PS5
to give it to you, yeah,
are you kidding me? Like, everyone in the world's played
but
this
already. I think is Thieves End, is that a PS5 version for us on that collection? I think it's been upgraded to PS5 version.
I think so. I mean, at the very least, it's 60 FPS.
So then,
positive.
So then, at that sense, you're really only giving us Lost Legacy as an upgrade
for your PS5.
If everybody and their mom who's got a PS5 has already got this game, then you're only doing that for. It's more so for the PC. That's what it is. It's more so for the PC to give you this.
That's what it is.
And Lost Legacy. And it's just saying, hey, we're putting
That's
on
exactly
PS5
what
too.
it is.
That's
dude.
what it's for. It's for the PC.
It's for the PC crowd. Yeah. What bullshit,
so
man.
I don't even know why they would have even attempted to just show this or whatever with the PS5
it's
thing.
Strictly for PC.
This
is about trying to get PC on board for sure, man.
For sure. But moving on, the next game, I was surprised at this one. I didn't know this one was coming. I didn't know this was down the pipeline. I'm really surprised that Marvel has so many fucking games in the making. Like, they are literally throwing their rights out. You were saying that they were going to flood the market
last time, dude. Yeah. Totally.
Hey, they got Marvel's what is it? The Sons, the something Sons. I forgot what it's called.
Forgotten.
But they got that one. They have the other Marvel's XCOM. Well, no, that was the Marvel's XCOM game. There's another Marvel's game.
The mobile one they just released.
The mobile one, the Revolution or something like that.
Guardians of the Galaxy. They got
Guardians.
They had Spider-Man already. I mean, it's like
Marvel's Wolverine, man. Like, when I watched it, I was like, what is this? And I was trying to get what it was, and I couldn't tell. And then it's like, oh, you did the freaking claws. And I'm like, oh, damn, they done made a Marvel game too, a Wolverine game. And it's made by Insomniac, which they did an outstanding job with Spider-Man. So for them to take on Wolverine, I feel like it's gonna be done great. You know, but it's like
I love Wolverine. When I was growing up, he was my favorite hero.
Okay.
Wolverine was always my favorite.
Because he was so bloody and massacrist.
He was just like, I liked that he would, in my mind, he was like indestructible because like he healed perfectly everything back. He couldn't kill him.
Dude takes a bullet in his head and will eventually kick the bullet out. Fuck.
Dude, I just like that kind of power. And I like that, you know, I also thought it was really cool that he was like also indestructible because the metal was like adamantium or whatever. So like you couldn't break him either.
Right.
I just thought he was a really cool hero. I always liked playing him on the original. You remember the
what
arcade
happens if
game?
you dismember him?
I always chose Wolverine because I just liked the powers, you know.
Right. What if you pull off some legs?
He's not just you cannot dismember him.
Nah, shit can cut through that adamantium.
You can't break adamantium.
No, something cut through his steel at some point. I thought I could have sworn that at one point something had cut through his steel and his claws. It had cut his claws.
Oh.
Wasn't there something in the movie that had cut through his shit?
Maybe it was like adamantium, something. Yeah, you're right. There was something like that. He would grow back. In my mind, he would grow back. The metal wouldn't. So I think the bones would grow back out of the metal. But anyways, I have two feelings about this game. The first feeling is dope. Wolverine's sick. I'm agreeing with you. I didn't expect this at all. I didn't see this coming from out left field. Second thing is totally. I feel like it's gonna be like whenever Sony gets a chance to get a Marvel license,
it's just gonna.
Let's just throw it to Insomniac. I mean, we got Marvel, Insomniac. You good? Iron Man comes. Insomniac, you good? Like they're just gonna throw every Marvel thing Insomniac's way. It feels like.
I think Insomniac didn't do the Iron Man VR, but maybe if they had, it would have been.
You know what I'm
better.
saying? Like the next time around. Yeah. You know, because I think that was before Spider-Man came out.
Yeah.
The Iron Man VR.
Yeah.
But it's like because they did so damn good with Spider-Man and Miles Morales, they're just like Insomniac is just getting all the Marvel contracts.
Dude, Insomniac might be the go-to for Marvel games, man.
But I thought that this game would have been in better hands had it been in like Naughty Dog's hands. Because when I think of Wolverine, I think of like gritty, like the movie that just came out, Logan.
Yeah.
I think of like gritty, dark. The dude is like depressed because he's lived so long and like broken.
Yeah.
Not like giddy, upbeat like Spider-Man. And not, I don't want a cartoony. Like I don't want a cartoony Wolverine. Like I want the nitty gritty. I want, what's the dude I want Joel. Like, this feels like Joel, but with claws, right? Like, that's what I want.
Yeah.
And so, like, I thought it would have been really cool had, like, a little bit more of a gritty studio got this. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, like, you're right. They did a fantastic job with Spider-Man, and, like, you can't deny that.
Yeah.
And so I totally get why they threw this at Insomniac. I just wonder if Insomniac has the chops and the guts, you know, to go in that dark, gritty direction. And when you watch a trailer, it seems like it is a little more gritty.
Could be.
He has the bloody knuckles.
Yeah.
So this better be bloody. We're hoping for like a rated M game, right? We're not hoping for teen here. Hoping for a rated M game, you know, like
I'm still waiting for like a real proper Deadpool game. Like I feel like the Deadpool games have been like pretty childish or whatever, you know,
totally.
Trying to go like the super comedic route. But I want it to be like not silly. I want it to be like I think Insomniac should take Deadpool and do something with that.
What do you think
that
this?
Would be cool.
Yeah, it's something. I think they would make a great Deadpool.
Yeah,
that's true. Wolverine, I'm a little unsure because when you think about Wolverine,
I have faith in Insomniac. After Spider-Man 2 and Miles Morales, I have faith that they.
Well, let me ask you this though. Marvel. Let me throw a little wrench there. Then, how do you envision this? Insomniac is like big on the worlds, the open worlds. Are we running around New York as Wolverine? Like, why does this work? We can't sling through the city. Is this going to be an open world game or is this going to be on rails?
I think this will be open world. It's a superhero game.
Really?
It's got to be open world. But I feel like
cars.
His traversal.
He's not a traversal, dude. He's not a traversal.
He rides a motorcycle. So
we're gonna go Days Gone then.
Could be a lot of motorcycle riding.
Yeah.
For him. You know what I mean? He can climb buildings with his claws. So I see a lot of building climbing.
You know?
I think he can jump fairly far.
I never seen that as like one of his things.
He ain't leaping tall buildings and shit.
Traversal has never been one of his features, man.
Yeah, probably not like a really good one. I think he can climb or he can.
I mean, you can invent it. You can invent it. You're right, but I'm just saying like that's not his MO.
and then traveling. I don't know how fast he runs, like on all fours. Actually, he was covering good ground on all fours in Logan. He was dusting through that forest.
Yeah, but that's not how we're gonna run the world.
Hey, on all fours, bro. You just start running, and then all of a sudden you see him get low and start galloping, just taking mad leaps, man. Like just peeling ground from under him as he's freaking running, man. I can see it, man.
I don't know, man.
I don't know where they're gonna go.
I think I'd prefer like what I said before, the Naughty Dog on rails grim story. I think that'd be sick.
Maybe it's more mission orientated. You know?
I want the grim start to finish journey, man.
Yeah,
I think it'd be so cool. I don't know.
I'm not gonna put anything past Insomniac.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm definitely looking forward to seeing the direction that they're gonna take with Wolverine.
I agree.
And I don't think that they're gonna come ass with it, dude. I think they're gonna show an improvement.
No matter what they do, it's not gonna be bad.
Yeah,
It may not live up to one expectation or another, but it's not gonna. It's
gonna be solid.
It's gonna be good no matter what. Yeah.
Yeah. So the next game that they showed, and I don't think they didn't give a date for Marvel Wolverine, and that clip was short as fuck. I don't know when they're gonna even. I think that's probably like at least a 2023. At least, but I think I could see it 24.
2024, bro.
Especially since they're working on Marvel's, Spider-Man. So
yeah, that's 2023. So there's no way they're bringing out two games in the same year.
Right.
So
it might be actually 5. It might be 5.
5, bro. That's so far.
I mean, shit.
Come on, man.
But the next game that they showed was Gran Turismo 7. Of course, a lush, beautiful, car game. If you are into the Gran Turismo scenes, then you're gonna get exactly what you've been getting. Gran Turismo, certain games is kind of like 2K or Madden or whatever. You're getting the same shit, just a different year, upgraded graphics or whatever. This one comes out in March of 2022. So if you love racing games, be on the lookout for that. Insomniac again, showcasing Spider-Man 2. Marvel Spider-Man 2. Now, we had talked about this rumor before with Najee Jeter showing a picture of him in a mocap suit. And you were saying that this was going to be a combination of those two. And I did not want it to be a combination of those two. I felt like Miles Morales deserved to just be on a branch of his own and, essentially like move away. Like something happens in the game on the next Miles Morales and then he moves like on his own, Peter dies or something like that, alternate universe, something, happens that he's on his own to be the Spider-Man that he can be. But this one showcases them tangoing against like, the same villains and stuff like that, and a fight together. And it's kind of just like, damn. I was going to ask you, when I was listening to the narrator, it sounded as if the narrator had like a German accent, as if he was Mobius, the vampire. But when we got to the end, we see Venom in the shadows. So do you think that was all Venom? Do you think that they'll give us Mobius in this game? I think
that's what it was.
And Venom?
I think it was Mobius.
Could we see a black suit Spider-Man, with like a Venom Spider-Man be able to do this game? I mean, that would be pretty dope. But again, the Venom storyline didn't have anything to do with Miles Morales. So I don't know how they're incorporating Miles Morales, which is why I just wish they had kept Miles separate from Peter. At this point, like I understand they're in the same world or whatever, but give us a sequence of things that have happened that just involve Peter. Like I liked the original Spider-Man for PS4.
Me too.
So I would have totally loved if they had just done Spider-Man for PS4 too, and or PS5. You know what I mean? A second one, and just gave us just nothing but Peter Parker. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Like, remember when we were talking about this? I didn't necessarily disagree with you. Like, I don't disagree with your feeling on that.
You just saw why not?
I was just like, I can't imagine why they wouldn't capitalize. I didn't know. I had no insider information. I promise you. This was just my read, right? And I just thought, like, when we saw him in that mocap, I couldn't imagine them
That they would do another Spider-Man Miles Morales
right after and just skip over like Peter.
Yeah.
So all those things was making me think that this is going to be some kind of duo, this next one.
Right.
And sure enough, it was. And the whole thing comes into my mind like, okay, so what does this mean? Like, does this mean co-op? No. They came out and said no co-op. Because that would have been dope.
That
right?
would
What
have
if you
been
could have
fire.
played like Miles, I played Peter, or we switch it up?
Yeah.
And play through the game together as opposite characters and like enjoy it all?
Right.
Like, they shot that dream down. So that's not what it is. So my next thing goes to, is it going to be like we do everything together? So like we're going around the world together and we're just like switching between the two as we fight. Like I'm going to fight as Miles this time because that dude has electrical shield. So I need to make sure that I use Miles' power to knock that off. And we're going to be kind of like utilizing both the abilities back and forth as we need them.
Yeah.
Or is it going to be like the GTA route, like I mentioned before, where like both are doing their own thing in the city, and you're doing like the world switch. You know how you would switch and you go up to the the sky.
So you turn to Miles and he's in the middle of doing something and you're continuing up with his story.
Missions.
Yeah.
And then once you kind of exhaust his missions, you press up again like on
switch
Grand
to
Theft Auto.
Peter.
You see Peter has 4 missions to do. You go to him.
Yeah. And then sometimes they join up together.
And then maybe sometimes they join up. That could be the route they go, which I would probably prefer that route. Because then I feel like I'm playing one and then the other rather than at the same time.
But at the same time, you have to manage the skills of 2 different characters now.
True.
It's not just a continual upgrade of one character. You've got to manage 2. Right. So it's just like it's a lot to deal with, and I mean, I don't think you can do like because he's got electric, he's got some other power or something because he doesn't have electricity. Right. So they got 2 different. Miles Morales has 2 different skill sets.
Yeah, Peter emphasizes web slinging. Miles emphasizes electricity.
Yeah.
So it's like, So that's why I'm saying like maybe it's kind of like where they're together at all times and. You know what I mean? In those games where, like, an enemy comes up that, he needs to be electrocuted. Mm-hmm. He won't be... Webbing does nothing to him. So you have to switch to Miles, right, to use electricity.
Yeah.
And then another enemy comes up where they're immune to electricity. So you're better off switching to Peter. Something like that.
But then it seems like one of those, like that Marvel's Avengers game where you had to switch, where you could switch between all of the characters and stuff like that to do shit. And it's kind of like, I don't like those games where you got to like switch between your characters, Right. I like having one character to focus on.
Right. I agree, man.
Not manipulating the gameplay through like 4 different characters. It's just kind of annoying.
I do agree with that, which is why you like the Guardian of the Galaxy route where you just stick as Star-Lord. Yeah. You're not, even though they're all together, you're playing just the one.
Yeah. They've got their AI and stuff, and you can hey,
direct
do this or something like that, but they're gonna do their own thing. Yeah. They're here to help me. Right. So I don't know what direction Insomniac is going. I'm not too worried. I still feel like Insomniac will do a great job with this, as they did with the other. I don't think that they're going to incorporate something like this and fuck it up.
All I gotta say is all hell Insomniac Studios, man. Because
with Marvel games, at least.
Half the first-person studio games that they revealed today were Insomniac games. Yeah. And Insomniac's already given us 2 games already this cycle. Yeah. Ratchet and Clank and Miles Morales. What are the other studios doing? What would Sony do without Insomniac? They need to just be thanking them. Thank you, Insomniac. You gave us some games to show today. Yeah. What would we have done without you? For sure. That's crazy, bro. Good for them. Those guys work hard, man.
Yeah, they've been putting in a lot of work.
They deserve all the praise.
For sure.
They're like the Brandon Sanderson of the video game universe,
creating so many books.
Yeah, how you have like... You have George R. R. Martin and like Patrick Rothfuss. These guys are like just masterpieces. They're like the Rockstar and the Naughty Dog, but you don't get very much. Yeah. And then you have Brandon Sanderson, who may not quite be as good as those guys, but he almost is.
Produces good shit,
he's chunking out books every year for you. Right. That's what Insomniac is, man. And I appreciate that almost more than like the great quality stuff. I'm not kidding. I appreciate that so much because I know no matter what, it may not be like The Last of Us Part 2, but it's going to be damn good. Mm-hmm. And I get to play that now. And I know I'm going to get something from you next year, too, and the year after. Yeah. Where I may not get nothing from Naughty Dog.
I mean, it's going to be a little break before we get something from them, but the fact that we're getting that Spider-Man is supposed to be coming out for 2023, and then maybe a year or two after we get Wolverine.
That's what I'm thinking.
And I can't see them like as fairly quick as we got Spider-Man 2 and then we got Miles Morales. I think we could see another game, another Spider-Man game.
Dude,
or
I
something
think
like
Insomniac
right after.
is trying hard to be a yearly releaser. Because we got Spider-Man 1 in 2019. We got Miles Morales in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
We got Ratchet in 2021. I think they're taking 2022 off because there's lots of releases in 2022.
Unless they got something in the tuck that they're dropping.
Unless they have like a little short one again.
Maybe a remake.
Like a little short, maybe like, maybe they do like a little Rivet DLC or something.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't be surprised if they do something like that. And then 2023, they launch Spider-Man 2.
Mm-hmm.
And then 2024, you get Wolverine. They're just giving you something, man.
Yeah.
Like every day. They're such a wonderful studio. I can't say enough good about those guys, man.
For sure.
They are world class.
And the very last game of the showcase, we were waiting on like one of their big coup de grace first person games. And I was at this point, I was like, okay, it's getting close to the time. I hope they don't show us Forbidden West at this point. But
bro, I thought maybe that they're not going to show us God of War again.
The gods answered our prayers, and they gave us God of War Ragnarok, and more than just a little symbol on the screen,
quite a bit
with the name. They gave us a story. I don't know about you, but I felt like it was a lot of shit that resembled the first one. I kind of almost was looking at it like, damn, is this the second? Or am I playing the first with this? You know what I mean? Like, there was some things that Atreus was saying that,
identical.
Like he'd been around, but yeah, he's
still coming of age still. He still hasn't learned yet. Yeah, exactly.
But this is literally supposed to be consecutively, like right after. When we see Thor land with his hammer at the very end of 1, this is supposed to be right after.
They changed the voice of the kid. You noticed that, right? It's a completely different voice.
Did they alter it a little bit?
Yeah.
Or did they make him sound a little bit older?
They did, but if you're saying that it's right after, then how do they do that?
Maybe
because I thought maybe he'd be a little older too.
Maybe it gives us like a what happened when Thor arrived, and then there's like a time break.
Maybe there's a time skip.
There's a time jump.
Yeah, maybe there's a time skip.
And maybe that's why.
That would work.
He looks slightly.
He does look a little bigger, doesn't he? Like
he
a year or two older.
Bit older.
Yeah, he does look like a year or two older.
Not by much, but
he looks like he's 11 now instead of 9, right? Like he looks a little bit older.
But it's funny they still got the head, the dude's head that they chopped off and kept with them and stuff like that, And I thought it was really interesting that they were showing the Blades of Chaos a lot. Like, they just decided, we're going to bring that back, like, heavy.
I think you start with it.
You might.
Because that's what you got
didn't you acquire the Chains of Chaos?
Later in the game.
Yeah, like, towards the very end, right? Yeah, so, it's interesting that they would give you what you started off, what you ended with.
Chains of Chaos. I can't wait to play with them again.
That's kind of cool then at that point, right? Because then it feels like it's really just a progression. Like, you didn't get another setback. You know how, like, God of War... You juiced your guy up and everything, and then God of War 2, he gets set back, and then he's got to build himself back up again.
Right.
And then God of War 3, it's
like the
same thing. You get a setback to come back, But this seems like you just kept moving forward.
We're playing with Thor's hammer this time, right?
You got to, dude.
We're going to be playing with that hammer.
You got to take Thor's hammer.
I know we're going to be using it.
You got to be worthy,
I know we're going to get to play with it.
It's got to be worthy.
We got to play with it, man. We got to, man.
But, I'm definitely looking forward to the damn game.
I agree with you, though, dude. Like, this looked just like 2018.
Yeah.
It's still,
Well, 2018 or was it 20?
God of War 2018.
Was it? Did it come out in 2018?
Yeah, it came out in 2018.
Yeah, that's a while away. Yeah. But yeah, there was a lot of stuff. A lot of the enemies kind of looked similar.
It's the same. It's the same engine verbatim. This is how we know, dude. Like, this looks done.
It does.
I'm sorry, like.
But do you think it's coming out 2022, or you think it's 2023? I
think it's 2022 for sure.
Why didn't they give us a coming out this year? With a good season or something, or just at least 2022? Why didn't they give us that?
That's a good point. I don't know. This game looks done. It's the exact same engine. It's the exact same environment. Like, they didn't change anything. It's not like
they might have added a few environments here, just a few, probably.
We're
but
still
not
up
much.
in the Norse cold region. Like, it's not like we went to Egypt.
Yeah.
It's not like we went to somewhere completely different, right? Like, and we're fighting Egyptian gods.
Yeah.
Like, it's the exact same environment. Come on, man. This shouldn't I see why they wanted to release it this year. I bet you they're damn further along than like they're letting us on.
Maybe.
And now it's in the can. It's the whole can maneuver. Throw it in the can.
You think maybe it's like maybe like March?
No, I'm thinking
April.
No, holiday next year.
Oh yeah,
I'm thinking a holiday next year.
You think they'll wait?
Mm-hmm. They're not gonna put it anywhere near Forbidden West.
So they can make it like a PS5 seller then.
It's gonna be like Forbidden West beginning of the year. We'll probably get something middle of the year, and then this will be at the end of the year.
You don't think they would put this at the middle of the year?
Nah, dude. This is gonna be their winter carry. Like this is gonna be like October.
This is gonna be what sells them some more PS5s for Christmas.
I'm guessing September, October. We see this.
Okay.
I think it's done. They're just polishing it.
Yeah.
And they're just canning it and waiting to release it next year.
I would much rather prefer that they held on to a finished game until they were just like looking for the right prime spot to not step on any toes for any of their first party games or whatever. So I would much rather they had the time to just keep polishing it. You know what I mean? Like just keep working on it.
That's
keep
what I think it is.
Even better. It's ready, but just keep testing it and finding little bugs and fixing them.
That way I know when they announce it, it's for real.
Polished product, yeah.
And that I would prefer that too. Like if studios could just like make games and Tony cans them.
Yeah.
And then waits, even if they wait a year or whatever, and then they reveal it, and then that when they give you a date, it's for real.
Right.
Yeah, not like a game's half finished, but we're gonna announce it anyways.
Exactly.
We're gonna give you a date anyways. No, how about you wait until it's done? So like I'm totally fine them being done. It looks done, and I can see why they thought they could have probably hit 2021 because it looks largely done. But I think they're just gonna can it until 2022.
Yeah.
And I think it'll be the second half of the year.
For sure.
We'll see though, man.
Yeah. But all right, that was it for this week's episode. We went through all of that stuff. The majority of this was pretty much the PlayStation showcase, but there was a lot there to check out. I should be able to get the video for the PlayStation event on here, hopefully. If not, sorry, we'll drop a link in the video or something like that so you guys can see that. But yeah, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe, hit the like button. We appreciate you as always, and we'll catch you guys next week. Deuces.
Peace.
See you.
I love you, me.